What is going on, everybody? You are listening to another episode of Past the Barb. I'm Ryan Pinkau. We got an awesome show coming to you tonight. We got all the boys in the house. We're all here. We got an absolutely A1 excellent guest coming in tonight, too. I think it's going to be an awesome show. We've been rapid fire recording these for you, for PTB Nation. But this one's carrying over a little bit. We got to pump the brakes a little bit. Things are getting hectic. We got the St. Paul Ice Show coming up. So we're bridging the gap here, if you will. But if you're listening to this right now, we recorded this on the 24th of November, November 24th.
It's about to be hella ice.
It's about to get rowdy.
Yeah.
Pre-winter happening is where we're doing right now. But yes, we're back. If you're listening to this right now, please rate, subscribe, like this wherever you're listening to it. We appreciate you. We are still the #1 outdoor podcast in the freaking world. It's unbelievable, boys, that we've made it this long, this far. We've had a few hiccups, but goddamn, we're still at the top. So what up tonight, boys?
We top charts, baby. We top charts.
Yes.
I'm hyped. I'm excited to be back. Just like three in a row for us, but like some top tier guests. Excited about it.
We're really truly doing
happy. We're coming into ice season firing.
Yes.
Are you feeling better, Bart?
Yeah, I'm all good now. Yeah.
He's back, fully recovered.
I guess I didn't even ask you this weekend. I just figured you were fine.
Yeah, no, I was back. Yeah, early last week was rough. When we recorded the Rello podcast, I was in the midst of being very sick.
Deep in it.
But made it through. We're all good now. It's good. Get it out before the ice season, right? Just rather
one can hope. God.
Yeah. Rather than get it over Thanksgiving and then you're right at first ice, you feel like crap.
Yeah. Yeah. As long as you don't get the ice show bug thing.
Oh, that can happen.
You're just guaranteed to get sick after the ice show.
Yeah, I'm gonna just start steady ripping airborne. Boom, boom, boom on it.
What's airborne?
The good thing is the alcohol at night negates all of it so rapidly.
I don't think so. You never take airborne,
or
dude?
It intensifies it.
You got to get on it, dude. It's like an immune system booster. It's like a little tablet. You plunk it in some water and swirl it up and just hammer down.
Okay, dude. I'll try it.
Tastes terrible, dude. But it works.
It does. Yeah, it could be a good one. Normally, my regimen at St. Paul is I bring like one of those little mini hand sanitizer bottles, and just like once an hour, I try to just dump my hands in hand sanitizer.
Gosh, wear gloves the whole time.
It's just so many people.
It is. It's just if you're giving a lot of handshakes and hugs and so much touching, it's just like any sports show. Like I'm sure those guys that actually do the gauntlet and like hit every sports show in the Midwest, like they've gotta always just contract illness.
At this point, they're just immune to everything, so they're probably good. It's probably the first year you're on the traveling cruise actually hell. Because it's like kind of your baby, when you're a baby and you just get sick all the time because you have no immune system to anything. It's the same thing as if you're on the traveling road for ice shows.
But potentially the booze would help.
Yeah.
Could.
I think.
Definitely could, actually.
It's worth a shot.
The lack of sleep, probably not. The booze, probably yes. It probably counteracts each other.
Oh, boy.
Science.
Well, all right. We're closing in on the St. Paul Ice Show, I guess is what we're getting at here. It's going to be a good time.
I would like to propose something. Instead of handshakes, how about we all just tip our caps to each other? How about we all just,
just a little.
Maybe a bow.
Like old school. Let's bring it back.
A bow, maybe. Yeah. Real legit.
Why don't we do that? That's what they do in the Eastern Hemisphere.
Yeah.
Yeah. They do little bows, hat tip, different stuff. How about we bring that back? Over here.
This podcast is insane. And for all you listeners who didn't hear last episode, one episode we can go from, I think we should tase Sobe at the St. Paul Ice Show, to Bart and Ryan are like, I don't think we should shake hands ever.
I actually do have someone gave another request. Speaking of you bringing up your punishment,
now that you said it, actually,
now you said it, there was a fantastic YouTube comment, and I will read it for all the viewers because I do think it's a good compromise. I'm finding it right now.
Okay. We'll stall since you don't have it prepared.
Well, I didn't know he was going to bring it up. Okay, here we go. Sobe punishment replacement idea. Have him wear a labor simulator during video collab with Bart and Crappie Chronicles, and the boys have full control remote, and Sobe tries to fish while going through labor.
Oh my God.
And maybe we take it off him if he successfully catches an eater crappie. Like, it has to be an eater, not like a 7-incher, but he gets one that we're like, yeah, that's an eater. We'll eat that.
You guys are sick. PTB Nation is sick. You're all
It'd be
sick.
hilarious. Imagine
Give the people what they want.
He's got one coming up after his bait, and it's just like, yeah, and just hit him, and he's just like, ah.
So much physical punishment. The tensions have rose now to just like physical pain.
Once again, just a reminder for everyone, Pink and I will be bringing a low-grade taser to the St. Paul Ice Show, and the first 3 people who come up to us, we will give it to you, and you are allowed. We are giving you permission to go give Sobe a little jab. You know,
no consent. No consent. Consent.
You lost the ability to
you
give
signed.
consent.
There was something you
year.
signed at one point. I know it.
We now
I got that signature. There's a waiver, dude. Like, it's in there.
Welcome to the Thunderdome, bitch.
that was the fine print. Yeah.
Okay. Moving on. Besides some current events, I do want to talk more about St. Paul Ice Show, more about ice fishing.
So he's like, great segue.
And all that. I want to put a last wrapping cap on potentially the deer hunting season. And this past weekend was Wisconsin deer opener. Shout out all the Wisconsinites that were out there in the woods. And always during the Wisconsin deer season, there's something special every year that happens. And Ryan was kind of the man that figured this out. And I want you to tell the folks about what it is again, and if you've been tuning in.
Yeah, this is, I guess if by the time you're listening to this, it's over. So you missed it. You blew it.
There's replays online, isn't there, though?
There are, but it's not the same.
Okay.
I mean, it is. It's exactly the same. You're just listening to it later. But
that's the thought process of a podcast. Anyways.
All right. Can I proceed with this?
Yeah, you're good. Sorry.
Yeah. So there's a radio station in Park Falls called 98Q Country. They have a fantastic radio show only during deer season. That's called the Deer Hunters Roundup. It's every day during deer season from opening day till the last day of the season from 6 to 8 o'clock. And it is the most golden Midwest, beautiful commentary you've ever heard in your life. It's basically a couple guys that host this show and people calling from their deer camps all across basically Wisconsin. And it is just absolute gold. It's like the best comedy that's like, and it's like real. Like, that's the best part of it. It's like legit. It's just people calling in, and you go from drunk Uncle Eddie to 6-year-old kid, back-to-back phone calls. It's incredible. It is just unbelievable. But yes, I've been slacking. I missed this dang thing.
We missed the last 8 seconds there. Your Wi-Fi decided to quit. Or was that just me, Sobe?
No, I missed it too.
No, now you actually have nothing. We don't even have you anymore. Did your mic quit? Oh, now you're back.
Am I back?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Now you're back.
Well, you should tune in because it's really good.
Especially with just the
comedy
thick culture.
Gold. It's comedy gold.
The thick deer hunting culture that Wisconsin has is like amazing. And then just the fact that random camps call in and just yak it up. It's like, yeah, it's nothing to be explained, only to be heard. It's just pure gold.
Have you dabbled a little this year?
No, dude, I haven't yet. And I need to, because like this would be, their second weekend.
Dude, it's literally on right now while we're talking. It's on.
Call in.
Should we call in? Pass the barb. Joining the Deer Hunters Roundup right now.
We should do something like that. The Hunters Roundup next year for like a Wisconsin opener or something. Like they could just call in. That'd be cool.
We'll have to do it. It'll have to be a live stream, dude.
PTB Roundup.
Yeah, I like that.
But
yes, if you haven't heard of this, even if you don't live around here, this is Charlie Barron's on steroids, dude. This is like the real shit.
I love that.
It's
Okay.
So good.
So We love Wisconsinites. We love your deer hunting culture. We love Wisconsin in general. It's a great state for fishing and hunting, but at least Bart and myself, we do not love the Green Bay Packers. But this year, the Green Bay Packers probably love us. And I don't know if Ryan wants to go into this or Bart, but it's last week the Vikings and the Packers went head to head, and it was, yeah.
No I mean, word. I think we knew
it was a great game, honestly. I had fun. I don't know.
Bart,
I don't even know if you could like to be honest. I don't even know if you could have fun watching that game, even if you were a Packer fan, just because it was almost so pitiful. You were like, oh, I kind of feel bad for them.
No, I didn't feel bad at any point during that. I really pretty much enjoyed it from wire to wire there. But it definitely was a straight up beatdown situation. Gotta love it. I don't know what else to say.
Adam, you're a sports guru. What are you seeing, dude? What needs to change?
We suck. Like that's basically
I'm gonna write that down.
That's kind of basically it. Our whole team is bad.
Okay, wait. I will say though, because the one thing that I do love about being a Packer fan living in Minnesota is how quickly all the sports broadcasters will adamantly turn on their own team very quickly. And it truly, I mean, yes, they played horrendously. But I will say, God, are people hating on this quarterback, huh? Incredible stuff.
Yeah. Just so JJ, I mean, all of his stats, like through 6 games, his stats are worse than Jamarcus Russell, who is widely regarded as the worst or one of the biggest busts in NFL draft history for a first round quarterback. And his are like worse. And it keeps and the
leading
thing
into the season, he was the second coming, dude. Like,
yeah, he was supposed to be. Yeah, he was supposed to be great. So, I mean, I guess my thing is once again, he still is very young. He's the youngest player or quarterback in the league. You gotta give him time to grow, they say, but and I mean, Josh Allen also started his career terribly, but the thing was Josh Allen, when he started his career, didn't have any talent around him at all. JJ does have a lot of talent around him in terms of Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, Aaron Jones, Jordan Mason, and like for people being like the O-line's horrendous, like the O-line actually isn't really that bad. It's kind of an average to, it's a middle of the road to even a little bit over middle of the road. It's just JJ does not possess the ability to process a defense and get rid of the ball in like less than 3 seconds. So it looks like he's always getting crushed because he is, because you're not, as an NFL quarterback, you're not supposed to hold the ball for like over 3 seconds. Like you have elite level pass rushers coming at you. That's like 101. So, yeah, I mean, it looks really bad. I think, well, now today he went into concussion protocol, so he's going to be on the bench again. And
that was real?
Really? Is that legit?
That's what was said at the. I mean, so here's the thing for people who are like, "Oh, is it legit or not?" Like, that's a huge lawsuit. Like, if teams false report injuries or something. So he reported symptoms, so they have to adhere to that on the way home. But also, it's pretty apparent that he's not ready to play in the NFL. So he needs to sit behind like a veteran leader or whatever it is. It is very apparent that, yeah, he's not ready. He shows flashes of like being good for like 2 or 3 throws in a row, and then it's like so bad. Just so unprepared, so scatterbrained. I've never seen a guy who just like drops a snap once or twice a game and then just falls over. Like he does it every game. It's insane. So I think that's really bad, but I think honestly, I think the worst part is that, I mean, KOC has been a really good head coach in my opinion. I think he's a very good head coach. I think he's a very good leader. I more of have a problem with our GM, Kwesi, because they went into this offseason, like they were so adamantly sure that this quarterback was good and ready that they didn't go get any veteran backup. Like, not even saying we should have kept Darnold or Daniel Jones, whatever. They went and took big contracts elsewhere, so it's impossible to say that. But you're so confident in this rookie quarterback that we have let Kirk Cousins walk after a 13-4 year, and then last year with Darnold, a 14-3 year. You let your guys walk because this guy's supposed to be that good. And that's why the turn on him so fast is so bad, because like he was supposed to be good. And they were supposed to be, you know what I mean? Like it was the experts there were like, yeah, he's going to be good. He can handle the whole thing. And then when he couldn't, it's like, that's really bad. And also he is not drafted well. We have like one or two players that actually contribute on offense. Our whole team is built on free agency. So we're paying a shitload of old players right now. It's just not a good situation currently in Minneapolis. It could turn around very quickly if you get the right person at the helm, but eventually you got to build a team with draft picks, and it doesn't seem like he's able to do that. So I personally, I would like to see a change at GM. I really like KOC. I really like Brian Flores. They've shown that they can win a lot of games with a good team. And we just have not built a roster. Like one person goes out and the whole team implodes. It's crazy. There's no depth anywhere.
I hope in a year or two from now, we're just looking back on this being like, remember when he was, remember that season? And it's just like, it's all turned around. I hope. If I had to give any glass half full to the Viking situation, I'd be like, bro, Will Riker and Wright, our punter and our kicker.
Dude, Will the Thrill is incredible.
I want to buy Will's jersey, dude. I want to buy a Riker jersey. I swear, dude. I will.
Will the Thrill is incredible.
Dude, he's automatic. Just 58-yarder, boom. Oh, second.
Doesn't he look like too? So you've seen his like headshot, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Do you know what college he went to?
No. Or Alabama?
He went to Alabama. He looks like the perfect little like 18-year-old frat boy. Like he doesn't look like he's a kicker. You know what I mean? Like you see a picture of him and it's like, I can imagine you pledging.
Yeah, I can't imagine him playing any sports, to be honest. And I see his picture.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Like, I was like, dude, you're definitely into Pokemon or something. And he just goes out there with.
Well, at least you got the kicking thing sorted, you know.
Yeah. But like I would say for you, Sobe, the glass half full is under KOC in the last several years of the Vikings. We have alternated like every other year being like really, really good, really, really shitty, really, really good. So next year we're going to be really good. I have no idea who's going to be quarterback, how we're going to get there, who's going to still be around, but patterns are real. We're fishermen. We're outdoorsmen.
It's true.
And this is a very strong pattern. So just chalk it up this year and move on.
We lean on patterns and a little bit of luck. And
it's Timberwolves season.
I will say, having only really lived through 3 starting quarterbacks for the Green Bay Packers in my life, things are good.
Yeah, that is the only thing. That is the only thing I really hate about Packers is that they're just always like, what do you mean? Like, why are you so upset? It's like you've never gone through QB controversy. Like you have no idea.
Ever.
Like no turmoil of QB other than when Aaron Rodgers decided.
Well, I mean, the Aaron Rodgers thing was kind of a gong show.
Well, he just did a lot of ayahuasca and like just, you know.
I mean, that was a him problem, you know.
Yeah, he was just finding himself, dude. He still won a lot of games.
I will say, this is awesome. Just a tangent on your thing here. Facebook Marketplace here is a in the bag JJ McCarthy jersey here.
What's it listed for? $10?
It's $50. But this person says that it's like new, still in the bag. There's a small description of the thing, says it was the wrong size. The last sentence says, chill out, folks. He's only 22 years old. Facebook Marketplace post.
Oh, that's very beautiful. Funny. Yeah, no, it's bad over here. I'm hoping Max Brosmer plays just because he was a QB for the Gophers last year, so he could do terrible. But I'll be like, hey, go for QB, whatever.
Man, they should just let anybody else try, right?
Like seriously, it is so bad, so bad. Like every ranking is literally the worst in the NFL.
I just like want to see some growth. Obviously, I think our season is not looking too hot to play in the playoffs, but like I just want to see like between right now and where we end the season, just end the season on at least a strong note.
Well, here's the thing. You want to get an idea of how bad J.J. McCarthy's been? Carson Wentz sucks. And we looked like actually kind of all right with him.
Who's going to play for us next week?
Max Brosmer. He's literally, he's going to be the starting quarterback. Hell
he's
yeah.
He's the guy. He's him.
Undrafted free agent from the Minnesota Gophers, baby. Let's go.
Dude, what if he's like good?
Like, the unreal. I mean, Tony Romo. That was Tony Romo.
There are guys but if he sucks, you guys can come to my Packer party.
Dude, the only thing that would be worse for
there's snacks.
And I think this is part of why they haven't made any changes, and now it's like they have to because of injury. If he ends up making the offense look better than JJ, the pitchforks are going to be so bad. Because it's just affirmative immediately, like ditch a draft pick, move on. Like,
I haven't been on the social medias much in the last 24 hours since the game. Like, is it bad out there?
Honestly, it's not even.
No, people are very supportive. They're like
kind of calm, like a calm.
Nobody's supportive, but honestly, like nobody's arguing because it's so bad. Everyone's like, "Wow, that's bad," and everyone's like, "Yeah." You know what I mean?
You're right.
Nobody's
There's
defending anything or arguing. Everyone's like, "Oof."
I'm not gonna make a post where everyone just goes, "Yeah."
Yeah.
You're right. There's no controversy there. There's nothing really to
post. People are like getting in there and they're like, no, it was way worse than that.
It's basically just a vent sesh of everyone being like, wow.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Oh. All right. Yeah. So what about
Wolves
the
season? It's Wolves
season. What about the T-Wolves? Talk to me.
Wolves are playing good. I mean, playing all right. They've had a really bad schedule to start the year, but they're playing good. Ant was hurt for a while. They're looking good. We'll see. Jaden McDaniels is awesome. Jalen Clark is a menace. And, the Wolves are back-to-back Western Conference final appearances. We're a state of basketball. And also the Wild don't suck now. They started the year being the worst team in the NHL. And now suddenly they're good again. So it's not pretty standard for the Wild, actually. They probably swing more in a year than any other hockey team in the world. But so there's other sports to watch. I encourage people to just stop watching football because the Gophers don't look great either.
Oh man.
I told you, open invite to the Packer party. You come over here.
I can't abandon the ship. I'll just stop watching.
There's burnt ends.
That's okay. I can't do that.
Okay.
Because the problem is we'll come on board for you, and then you will have to go through a quarterback change, and it'll go terrible, and then you're all going to yell at us, why'd you come over and be fans here? And then it'll be all our fault.
That's valid. I mean, we would place blame. So, yeah.
Even though it was crushing against us, too, like, I thoroughly enjoyed watching Micah Parsons on the Packers just play football, dude. He's so explosive. I would go to a Packer party just to key in and watch him again. I'm gonna watch heavily the rest of the year for the Packers, obviously, because they're in our conference. But like, he is so freaking nasty out there.
Yeah, it was a sack factory, dude. He was. That dude's crazy.
He's not even like the biggest dude on the field, but he just eats people. Dude, you could double team him. He just eats people. Line him up at linebacker, eats people. Line him up on the edge, eats people. That's
what they're saying. They're like, he gets double teamed more than anybody else, but he gets to the quarterback twice as much as everybody else.
It's really like it's
like just, what?
What his arms do and how he moves players, and it's so explosive through. Like, it's really fun to watch. He's nasty.
Yeah.
To the Packer party, it is.
No, I will say the only thing I will say to Packer fans though is, and you can maybe explain this to me, Pink. I don't understand the discourse of Packer fans who like don't like LaFleur or want him fired. You guys literally are one of the most winningest teams in football under him. Like, he is such a good coach. Like, widely regarded, awesome.
Because
coach.
People, at least for a long time, don't seem to turn on the players that much. Like, I feel like that's definitely more of a Minnesota thing where they're just like, oh, that guy, whatever. It's like in Green Bay, like if they're shit, they're just like, oh, the coach fucked everything
But
up
the
here.
thing, they say they're shit. You're like 7-4. Like, you're good. You're in the playoff race. Like, what?
I know. But even when they're doing good, they're like they're
over that time frame.
But they're always like, yeah, LaFleur's playing for his job right now.
I know, it's crazy. I don't understand it at all. Like, I would love to. I mean, I love KOC. I would love to have Matt. Like, if we fired KOC, say for example, you got fired and Matt LaFleur would get fired, I'd be like, bring him. Like, I would like him. He's a great. I've just never understood that. People are like, he's coaching for his job right now. I'm like, what?
What? He's doing pretty good.
Like in the playoffs. Like, okay.
Yeah. Spoken like a franchise who hasn't, once again, spoken like a franchise who has had 3 quarterbacks the last 30 years and missed the playoffs, like, I don't know, 5 times maybe.
And then they're like, you're the problem. You're the problem.
Who do you guys honestly think will win the division? And don't just say Packers, Pink. Like, take it objectively. Like, who do you think's gonna win this division, dude? It's interesting, dude. Like, is it gonna be the Bears? Like,
I don't think the Bears are gonna hold up. I do think they'll.
I don't know, dude.
Though.
I mean, it's crazy because like some of the way the schedules line up, it kind of like, I mean, the Packers have like kind of a tough one along the way, like the rest of the regular season. So it's like if they get a little beat up through that, I don't know. I mean, I definitely think they're going to make the postseason, no doubt. But like, yeah, I kind of feel like it's up in the air right now. That's why I think like some of these Thanksgiving games are going to be like big time.
That's actually Thanksgiving games are going to be awesome this year because there's a lot of people playing for a lot of stuff.
Yeah, like there's some, definitely. Like it's kind of anybody's game, I think, but we'll see. I don't know. I think it probably comes down to injuries, man. Because like you start losing some key guys, especially like on the line, that could be a huge difference maker.
Actually, I have no idea who's going to win it. Like, honestly, if the Bears won the North, I wouldn't even be surprised. I'd be like, oh, okay.
It's just weird. It's just that type of season. Like, it seems like
also it would be very Minnesota Vikings for the Bears to win it because we beat them the first game of the year and we were like, JJ's it. Like, he is that guy. And that will be the highlight of his career at this point in time.
Yeah.
Like, if he goes to bed, he's like, yeah, I beat the Bears in my first game. They did win the North that year. How'd the rest of it go? Yeah.
Well, then we beat Detroit. Like, that's so weird.
And we beat Detroit. Yeah, it makes no sense.
Doesn't make any sense. I don't know. I don't get it.
I think it'll be a good divisional race though. Like, I think it's going to come down to like, a game somewhere, you know what I mean? Like there's going to be a lot on the line.
Yeah, I will enjoy observing it.
Yeah.
The best part, like I said, I'll probably watch those games more than my own games. It's just like, that's the bad part about the Vikings this year. It's just not fun to watch. Like, I like watching football and like you lose, you're like, okay, that sucks. But I just genuinely enjoy watching sports. I had to watch Carson Wentz for 4 or 5 weeks, and that's not enjoyable. And then after that, it was this JJ, and that has been, I mean, we all saw it on Sunday. It's not enjoyable. Thank God Lakes are freezing this weekend.
I know, it's ice fishing season too. Let's go ice fishing. All right, let's go to our next deal. This is a segment we like to call Notes on Our Phone.
I got some good ones.
Just random little thought bubbles that'll pop into our heads as we experience life throughout the week, and we'll write it down on the phone, and it can usually be pretty random, but conjure some pretty great conversations. So give it a go, Ryan. Kick it off.
I had so not horribly long ago. This was maybe a couple weeks ago. I'd been driving around with my headlight burnout for like a while, couple weeks, 3 weeks probably.
Yeah.
Until I was like, yo, I gotta make a change here. So I went and bought a headlight, whatever, replaced it. Right, no big deal. Since I put that light bulb back in my truck, I have like seen thousands of vehicles with headlights out, and I can't say I ever even noticed one before. But the fact that I changed it, my brain now identifies every car that has a headlight out, and it's a lot, dude. But until I changed it, I was like, I have no idea. Would have never even thought of that. Put a light bulb in, now I'm nonstop, just like this guy.
It's true. Like you don't notice stuff until you
your brain locks in. It's crazy.
Dang. How about you, Bart?
I got a bunch of notes in my phone because I've been on the road so much lately. Just random things I've ran into. So first one, I was up in Brainerd, Nisswa area at a brewery, and got a couple beers, and it had the normal 25, 20, 18% tip option, to which, I selected like 20%, whatever. And then after it asked for more tips for cook and other staff because they don't share tips. What the fuck? That is outrageous. What are we doing? Double tip?
What'd you click?
Very firmly no.
Okay, yeah.
Like that's ridiculous. I've never gotten double tip asked.
Yeah, that's weird.
I couldn't believe it. Alyssa and I saw it and like looked at each other and we're like, did you see that? Like, who has the balls to do that?
I could see it. Yeah. I've never seen that either, though. Like,
I could see that like a fancy restaurant, like something fancy. Like, would you like to tip the chef?
No, not at a fancy restaurant because they build in the gratuity there.
Yeah,
they don't, like, fancy restaurants barely even ask you for a tip. Like, they just hand you a receipt and it says like 20% gratuity added.
Like, it's on there.
Yeah, you already paid for it.
But still, yeah, I don't know.
Weird.
Did they even do you have any did they even do any service though? That's the other thing. It's like they want
no,
tip.
they just
like,
it was a normal brewery. They just handed me the beer and I didn't get any food. So I'm like, what? Why? It was crazy. Like, I know we've talked about it before on here, but tip culture is just ridiculous. Like, I will tip for going out to eat at bars, and then like obviously there's like, haircut or other like small things like that, but like Subway in the airport. Come on, dude. Like, no.
No.
And in correlation with that, I actually have a secondary note on here. In contrast, there's 0 additional tip options offered at the stadium in Oregon, and I thoroughly enjoyed that. So, like, when you're at a pro game or whatever, and you buy your $18 beer, and they're like, "Would you like to tip these staff?" And then the person there is like, "We're local volunteers from a local high school," and you're like, "God damn it!" So then you're in $21 for your beer. Yeah, you just got it was like $15 flat, and you like scanned your card, and I was waiting for the thing to pop up, and they're like, "Okay, you're good," and pulled it away, and I'm like, "What?
That's so nice.
You're not going to ask me for more money?"
Well, there you go. No guilt.
It was fantastic. I went
free
back.
Stadium.
I literally went back more because I didn't feel like I was getting gaslit into giving tips.
Maybe that's a good sales tip right there, you know?
That is a good sales
tip. Pay your employees.
Okay. My note on my phone kind of goes along with that. And especially just with whatever, not just tip culture, but just like inflation. Like, prices are crazy. Doesn't matter what it is. Coming up on Black Friday, the boys and I were kind of talking about this before the pod. Coming up on Black Friday, I'm sure there's other things, but we feel like the one thing that has just substantially gone down in price over the past, 10 years are flat screen TVs. They're pretty near giving them away. Back in the day, people used to line up for Black Friday like, I'm buying a TV. And nowadays it's like, dude, there's so many brands and they're all good. And I just bought a small 32-inch flat screen TV on Sunday, and it was $88, dude. It's for our fish house. $88. I was like, oh, I should wait till Black Friday. And then I'm like, no.
Like from a store.
Yeah, like from Walmart. I was
not like Marketplace.
Yeah, I need that type of like
brand new.
It's not inflation. I don't know, deflation, whatever. I need that type of shit on groceries.
Yeah.
Maybe we can just
like move it over. We'll be like, we'll pay more for TVs. Just
move it
give
over.
us the other stuff less.
Precisely. I'll pay $700 for a TV if we can have the same percentage go down on like groceries and everything else.
Yeah.
You know, like that'd be great.
So, I thought that was interesting. Also, kind of a little snake draft style here. I'll go back to back. Another note on the phone from that basic 32-inch flat screen TV. I had a universal mount that kind of rotates and stuff. So it didn't come with the 4 screws on the back that you need to put it onto that. No big deal. Lined it up, blah, blah, blah. Couldn't find them at my house. I'm like, okay, run to the hardware store. Oh, they're the metric kind. I used a little grid, put them in there. I buy them. I come back. Well, I first went to town, got the TV, came back, knew I needed screws. Go to town, get the screws, then come back and I screw it in and I go, oh my gosh, dude, I just bought like the same screws that were in the previous TV. I didn't know that the depth would be different on this new TV. So these screws were too long. And I'm like, no. So I had to go back into town. Either way, I went to the hardware store like 3 or 4 different times. And on the last time I walked in, the lady at the desk like saw me clearly buying like $4 or $5 worth of stuff every time. But I just went back to back to back to back. And I walk in and I'm like laughing with my head down. And she just goes, pretend like I didn't see you. And what I'm saying is
like not my first time.
How many folks out there that do any home project, even as minimal as 4 screws, sometimes just rip to the hardware store like always twice, sometimes 3 times, sometimes more.
It is. It's for real. Okay, I got one more. This was so on the way to Montana, so just the other week or whatever. We pull into Quick Trip right by my house to gas up before we leave. And so we got like a rack on the back of the truck with the cooler on it. And we get out. Me and Nicole are walking into Quick Trip, and this guy like flags us down from like another gas pump, and he's like, "Hey, did you guys get a deer?" And we're like, "Oh no, we're on our way to like go on this trip or whatever." And he's like wearing scrubs, like just got off his shift or something, right? And he's like, "You got to come here." And okay, so we walk over there. I'm like, I don't know what this is about. And it's like night. It's like in the middle of the night. And he's like, he goes on and on about this, like, oh, this lady he works with hit this deer and this whole thing. And he's like, 30 years, I've never owned a vehicle that didn't have these. And in his grill, he installed whistles in the grill of his SUV or whatever.
No way.
So that when he's driving, like apparently it scares like animals away. I don't know if this is real. Never heard of this in my life. But he's got like 6 of them mounted in the freaking grill of his car. Never heard of this. Never even looked it up after that. But this dude like literally waved us down, made us come over there, and he's like showing us, you got to get these whistles, dude. He's like, all these deer, they just run away. They just look at your car where you can drive by, all this. So anybody know anything about these deer whistles?
I don't know if this is like an old timer's tale or something, but I have heard that before and have heard of people having like doing that.
And what is that?
Like I have no clue if there's a correlation or anything.
A deer whistle store?
Yeah, like they're a little like high pitched whistle or something like you blow for.
I have heard this too, but I've never seen them. Like I don't know what they.
Never seen them personally.
Like, is this like something if somebody like drove by would notice?
I don't think so. I think it's a different. Yeah, that would actually be
like a Nerf football whistling by.
Dude, that's what I expect it to sound like those old school Nerf footballs. Or I don't even want to make it, but that's what I would expect it to be.
I don't know, dude. Like, I didn't hear it when he drove away, you know? Like, I don't know.
Dang. That's cool, though. Yo, you got to come see this.
I was like, okay. Like, I'm not going to be like, no, I'm good. Like, I had to play this out. So I went over there. I'm like, okay, this is going to be good, I'm sure. Deer whistles. I'll write that down. I'm going to look it up finally. I can't believe I didn't at the moment, but I didn't.
You should definitely look it up.
All right, I'll keep you boys tuned.
All right. Well, I do have a ton more of these, but we can get to our guest because he's here and he's just been watching in the background, and I feel bad about our random ramblings with him just in here.
Yeah,
so we could get to
like to get his opinion on this deer whistle.
Yeah, actually, he might know something. It sounds kind of like a Wisconsin thing.
Yeah, let's bring.
I feel like some of his old guide clients would have believed in these things. So, but you got an intro? Who do we got?
Yeah, let's bring him in.
Did you type this one AI too?
Like I did not. I did not. I'm going to freehand this. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we have a lovely guest tonight. He's a freaking Midwest legend, a Wisconsin beauty. First name Tom, last name Boley. He wakes up in the morning and walleyes are scared because he won't eat them for breakfast. He'll eat them for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. He is the creator of the Walleye Now app, the Contour Fishing brand, and the founder and owner of the Tom Boley Fishing whole business conglomerate. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Tom Boley. Bring him in.
Bring him in.
Well, I gotta say, Sam, hopefully the mic's working. We good?
Yeah, you're all good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're on.
The AI is getting pretty good, first of all. Second of all, deer whistle real thing. In northern Wisconsin, we don't want to alert them to our presence, though. We generally shoot them right off the side of the road. Yeah. So we opt not for the deer whistle mounted to the vehicle most of the time.
Is there a brush guard you could mount where you could hit them but not totally damage the meat?
No, we just pay 10 times for the insurance up here, and we deal with it.
Okay.
To fill the freezer. Valid. So, yeah.
Got it.
Sounds like a good business plan.
It is. You guys sound like you're hunting, huh? Sounds like there's multiple hunting trips going on here.
Not me.
No. We're kind of toned down, but I'm more interested. Did you guys go out for gun opener? I feel like you and Shelby potentially. Did you tag out in Wisconsin though, or no? Or can you shoot?
Bow season we did. Bow season we actually shot bucks on the same day, which is like was crazy for the area I'm at. We hunt kind of like all public land, so like. The majority of sits every year for me are the 0 deer is what I see. And she always shoots a bigger one than me. So I always try to be modest and, shoot a decent little one. But we both shot bucks in bow season in early November. And then gun season, I shot at one opening day, decent 8-pointer. Didn't feel great about the shot. Felt like something was weird. Kind of sat there for a second and I hit a branch about that big, like 10 yards off my gun barrel. She's been playing kind of hide and seek with a big 9-pointer we've had on camera all year. That's just he's there, she's here, and she went in yesterday and it was bedded 20 yards from her stand and got up, ran away, and then it was back on camera like an hour later, 200 yards away. So hopefully this cold front on Wednesday does her some good. So yeah,
that's so sweet in Wisconsin. You can kill a buck during bow season, then kill a buck during gun season. That's awesome. That is awesome.
That's not a thing in Minnesota.
No,
really?
We're only allowed one buck. Yeah. Doesn't matter where you're hunting.
1 buck per year. Yeah.
Well, if you shoot 2 bucks a year up here, it's almost impossible to do. So that's probably our equalizer.
Give us the small elevator story of the double kill. I got to hear how that went down. Like, that is so electric to get, like, if you're going to harvest to both get it done in the same day, like, come on.
Yeah. So, I kind of disappear from YouTube, like, which everybody needs who does any part in YouTube for an amount of time. Right. And, spend a ton of time just walking woods, running cameras, all public stuff from like October 15th on generally. And she's got kind of these 2 rut funnels that I found, which is big topographical scent checking zones where deer just are constantly in there in the rut, but you don't really have much in there outside of the rut, right? So she goes down and like, it's pretty much a guarantee that she's going to have encounters with a big deer this day. And about 9 a.m., I think she texts me. She's like, she says buck down, but then the next text is bedded down. And then the next text is like, I'm getting down. And I'm sitting there like, what the hell is going on right now? Like I'm calling her, and it's that thing where you're calling someone, but they're calling you. And like, it goes to answer and you're like, all right. So I just kept sitting there. And finally, like 40 minutes later, she texts me like, are you coming over here? I was like, all right, well, apparently she shot one. So we go down there and we call the spot the ravine because it's this huge, like massive terrain feature where the bucks just go down and scent check. And I go down there, we drag it out. I get it out probably by like 2:00 in the afternoon. And right at 2:00, I just had a Magnum go in front of like the camera that I was sitting at in the morning. So I drive the buck home, get it up, hung up in the garage. She starts skinning it. I run back out in the woods, and this is where it got crazy. So a bunch of does came out. One's like licking the stick at the bottom of my stand, and I'm standing there like trying, just sitting there trying not to move much. And here comes the buck coming down, decent kind of average Northwoods 8-pointer, pull back, shoot. And it was one of those things where like I did not need to stop this deer. It's kind of like moving real slow, perfectly broadside. And it was like the sound just like fell out of my mouth.
Yeah.
Like, meh. Like kind of accident,
Yeah.
And the second I did that, the deer like, boom, like drops down, is like looking all over and starts like kind of like rapidly trotting. And I pinched one off, and I was like, the second I did, I was like, no. And it just, I mean, I heard pop and it just felt weird, right? So then the deer runs like 30 yards and it's standing behind this tree and this big bush, like 50, 55 yards away. And I'm like, it's not going down. It's just standing there, not flickering its tail. Like something's weird here, right? So I knock another arrow and it takes 2 big bounds. And I was like, well, that can't be a good thing. And I draw back again. And I remember floating my 40-yard pin like 2 feet above its back, pinch one off, and I just heard pop again. And I was like, well, I for sure have 2 pass-throughs. And it ran like 50 yards and it's standing there behind another tree. Like not even acting like it's hit. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like, did I just do 2 no man's land hits? Like, what on earth is going on here? So I knock another arrow. And now I'm like unlimited pin at the skyline. Like, is this possible through all this much brush? And then it just bolted down into the swamp. And ended up that I actually hit it top lung and kind of caught some good stuff. And the second shot was about an inch or 2 behind that. And the deer just acted bizarre. Never seen a deer act like this after it was hit.
Weird.
And I just backed out. Next morning, come in, find the deer relatively quickly dead. So we didn't recover the deer on the same day, but it was a pretty crazy, like, 24 hours of shooting deer, the emotional roller coaster, dragging deer, processing deer, you know, the whole thing. So it was a fun bow season.
Dang, that's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it. That's exciting. I mean, your adrenaline on that deal had to just been like, God damn.
I missed the most crucial part of the story, though. So after I shot this deer, I'm sitting there in the stand with now my 3rd arrow knocked. Like, what just happened, right? Here comes, I hear, you know, another deer coming in. Here comes this Magnum that was in there at like 11 o'clock or 2 o'clock or whatever the time was, coming back out from the bedding with an arrow stuck in it, high in no man's land, right below the spine. And that's when I was really sitting there going like, did I shoot 2 deer? Like, what just happened here? But the only thing was, like, it was a Luminox, and I don't shoot Luminox, even though I probably should. And it came in, worked a scrape right in front of me as I have an arrow knocked at 12 yards. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. You know, this is just Northwoods karma coming to get you here.
Where was the arrow in his body again? Like,
it was back behind lung, but it wasn't liver and it wasn't spine. And we have so many crossbow hunters up here, but it was a regular arrow, but it only had like 3 or 4 inches of penetration. Just in no man's land. I mean, the deer came in, worked a scrape, and literally walked away. Yeah. So,
wow.
That's
a
pretty crazy.
That's a hell of a day.
Yeah.
It was.
Dang. I got a trail camera picture. Yeah, probably early November this year of just a buck that was dealt a bad deck of cards, kind of like that. Like he was pretty wide, would have been a pretty wide 8-pointer. One side completely broke off. And then right behind his head, dude, it almost looks like right away I was flipping through. It looked like he was a single spike deer on one side and an 8-point on the other side. And then I'm like, Steph, look at this. And we both look at it and it's like wicked thin. And I'm like, oh my gosh, dude, there's an arrow like right behind his head. Like he's broken off here and he has one arrow out here. And it didn't look like it was that far behind his head, dude. It looked like it was basically in his top neck. It was, I don't know, dude. Deer are crazy, what they can live through.
Yeah, there's some tough animals, man. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Dang.
Jeez. Yep.
So, have you listened to the Deer Roundup before?
I have not.
Ryan, explain it to him really quick.
Oh, so there's a radio show. Can you hear me or no?
Yeah.
There's a radio show out of Park Falls that they run during deer season. It's just like every night of deer season, and it's just like random people calling in, basically drunk from their deer camp, into this radio show, and it goes on for 2 hours every night, and it's unbelievable. It's like the 98 country station.
I must listen to this tonight or tomorrow night if possible.
Well, it's from 6 to 8 every night this whole week. So the weekends are better. I will say the weekends definitely play, but it's good. Yeah, you're gonna want to check this out.
That sounds like a classic Wisconsin thing right there.
It's It's honestly so good. Yeah, like I go out of my way to be like, yeah, I'm tuning into this. I gotta check this out.
And the fact that you can stream it too. Like you can,
yeah, it's yeah. You can stream it online.
They've adapted to modern tech.
Yeah, and they even archive it, so you can like go back and listen to it. It's crazy. But yeah, you're gonna want to check this out. Highly recommend. But we try to get as many people on it as possible.
No, they need the help. I understand.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't even think they want the help. I just, they got their loyal crew, people that listen. It's just more of like people that get on. It's like when you find the next underground like Netflix show or like YouTube or whatever, and you send it to your buddy. You're like, dude, you got to watch this before it like blows up. We've been thinking this is gonna blow up for the like last 4 years. It just hasn't yet, So we're trying to get it out there.
I don't think it's ever gonna blow up. Dude, it just is what it is. This has been going on for like 30 years. Like,
no, this sounds like a reality TV show. Like we pump some money into it. We find the couple of key characters and we make a reality TV show out of it, right?
I think so. It's there.
That could be the next YouTube channel. Yeah, we can do that. Probably, could be enormously successful. More than likely not, but it'd be funny.
You couldn't monetize it, but it'd be great. Yeah.
Exactly. All right. So back. Okay. Well, then I guess it's a turn of the season now. So you got a little bit of hunting left, maybe. But other than that, ice season. And this will be coming out Wednesday before St. Paul, Tom. But you got big plans coming up, I'm sure, soon, right? You're going to be on early ice?
Before you talk about your plans, I want a little icebreaker question to you. 3 things you love about ice fishing and 3 things you hate about ice fishing.
Things I love about ice fishing. The first one is, and obviously you guys know this, but there seems to be a level of like open water fishing innovation's pretty hard, right? It's like it's been innovated so many times for so many years. It's like we're slicing hairs to innovate a little bit. Where ice fishing, it's still like, I'm not going to say it's new enough, but it's like new enough on, innovation's new in that realm, right? Yeah. Especially like there's a lot of gear stuff you can do that just makes you more efficient and stuff like that. The other thing I like about ice fishing is it's generally, I feel like open water guys can move around really freely and effectively. And ice fishing, it takes a level of like willingness to do it, which obviously we all know too. And if you're willing to kind of like optimize your gear and be full into this like extremely mobile ice fishing, you can kind of break away from a lot of people and see bites that other people don't see. It's hard for me to find a third thing I like about ice fishing.
He's digging deep.
I really played out those first 2, trying to jog my mind for the third one. It just wasn't coming to me.
I'll help you out with one. One thing I really like about ice fishing is I feel like it's much more adventurous than open water fishing. Like you can go so many places that you can't with a boat, and like there's just, like you said, kind of in the first part, like new things and like doing that. But just it feels almost, if you're willing to go do it ice fishing, it feels like there's a whole world of stuff that has not been exposed yet, and especially like bites, bodies of water, like just endless amounts of opportunity there. So I think there's a lot more of an adventure, and it's like, as much as it is harder to film just because it's like cold and like kind of sucks and your camera gear gets beat up, I think it's easier to film because like you're not restricted to this 18-foot boat. And like that's the only spot you got. Like you can go walk over here and get an angle, or like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think, and I hate to be the guy who brings it up, but I think like what we all have learned with probably using forward-facing sonar in a boat is how many untouched bites there are on the ice that, we all think like, man, can we possibly duplicate this on the ice? Is this possible? So like open water, there's not a whole lot of those things left where it's like, man, can I make this go? Like you kind of either know it or you don't think it's possible. But ice, it seems like there's so many of those like hidden frontiers that could still be possible that nobody's just ever been efficient enough at to do yet, or something like that.
Yeah.
Totally.
And then what do you hate?
Yeah, 3 things.
What do I hate? Well, the camera gear, first and foremost. Second of all, the length of it. I hate the fact that it's basically 5 months long, which is why I dip out about early February or late January. What else do I hate about it? I honestly, from a filming perspective, I hate the static shots. I know you just kind of mentioned like static shots. It seems more static in a boat, maybe. For some reason, and maybe it's because I suck at my job, but I feel like it's more static for me, like on the ice. Like the shots are more like you're in an ice shack, you're sitting at a hole with the tripod in front of you, and a lot of times it's just hard to film outside, especially if you're self-filming stuff. So that's probably kind of the main things.
Yeah, and I suppose it could be different for me because I'm not typically self-filming as much.
Yeah.
I would agree, though. I would agree the camera gear, though. There's nothing like the absolute worst part of the winter is like when you turn on a shack heater and you're like, well, time to put my camera in here and let it defog for the next hour and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brutal.
All right. Continue with Bart's initial question about plans. Different
plans.
Yeah,
like you got some plans coming up kind of to open the year, excitements or anything like that? Or you're normally chasing early ice. I mean, obviously walleyes and stuff, but you're normally getting after it pretty early.
Yeah. So basically all my ice stuff came in the last week and a half. So today I was in the garage all day, just putting shacks together, putting rods together, reels together, stuff like that. So looking at the forecast, I'm sure you guys are also probably excited.
Yeah, like we're gonna have a bunch of ice very soon.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, it's coming.
Yeah, and it's
days away.
And it's gonna build fast, especially if we have low wind. So pretty much I'm getting in the truck on Wednesday and just starting to drive, and probably gonna end up way north and way west, probably in North Dakota. But in North Dakota, there's obviously so much opportunity for small, shallow stuff that has a lot of fish in it, especially walleyes. Like where I live, you have a lake that's 7 feet deep and 130 acres. Like there's no shot there's good walleyes in it. Where obviously out in North Dakota, like you have that potential where you can get on a lot of walleyes, and out in Minot, and it's way colder than it is here even. So generally that's always my first ice trip of the year.
Nice.
Gotcha. Sweet. Well, yeah. So kind of getting into, I mean, obviously we'll end up talking about a lot of ice fishing going through all this, but we met a long time ago, Tom. But how'd you get started really in this whole thing? I mean, I know the answer to it from when I ran India back in the TYO days, but for people who maybe don't know, like where did Mr. Tom Boley, the guy who runs Walleye YouTube now, come from?
Completely by mistake, actually. Started out as a fishing guide. I always say I moved so I dropped out of college when I was I would have been a sophomore in college. I did not go to the second semester. Hopefully my dad's not watching, because I told him I went to the second semester, but
what were you going for initially?
I think business and marketing. So I didn't actually end up that far from where we're at, but
what school?
I went to Point for a year.
Okay.
And then I went to River Falls for half a year.
But a year.
Year and a half, yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, I said a year. You said in case you're dad.
Yeah,
you went to River Falls for a year.
Yeah. Completed the semester.
I didn't know you went to
We're trying to help you.
4.0. It wasn't for me.
All that money I asked for was for school.
Yeah. Yeah. So started guiding fishing trips right out of high school when I was 18 up in Hayward, Wisconsin. Obviously, I always say I moved here with $5 and a dream of being a fishing guide. And eventually kind of started getting busy as a fishing guide. And it was kind of right when like the whole Facebook, social media as a fisherman was kind of getting maybe not just getting popular, but especially in my area, like nobody was doing it, right? And started booking tons of trips, got really busy as a walleye fisherman. And then I was like, how can I be more busy? And I was like, I'm going to do YouTube. So I started doing weekly reports filmed on I couldn't even tell you what kind of camera it was, but it was a tube that was like this long that you could buy it for $35 at Walmart on clearance.
I bet that was a Tacticam.
I don't know if it was a I wish I knew what it was, but the
Something
audio,
like
I'm sure.
that, but yeah.
The audio, I'm sure, was terrible. But anyway, it didn't matter back then, right?
Yeah.
And started filming these weekly reports. And then I was like, well, I might as well just start filming the fishing. And then it turned into, well, I might as well just start filming like some tips, because I know tips, like feeding people tips is going to get me more guide trips. So then that turned into, eventually one day I remember watching Bass Guys on YouTube and thinking like, man, I was like, I could do this for walleyes. Like, I think I could actually do this. So I started putting more effort into YouTube. And I remember at one point it was making $100 a day. Now at this point I was making like $600 a day, maybe guiding or something like that. But guiding, my hat goes off to anybody that can guide for a living, because that is one of the most challenging, difficult things to do day in, day out I've ever seen in my entire life. So my hat goes off to those people. So the second I was making $100 on YouTube, I quit guiding. And I was like, I'm going to give this YouTube thing a shot, while having boat payments and this and this and this. And I was like, thinking back on it now, it sounds insane to me. But I started building the YouTube thing. And it's actually started going really quick at that time, like as far as growth goes. But I still didn't really like understand what the cap was or what it could really do, or sponsors or anything like that. And probably after like 2 or 3 years, it kind of got to the point where it was like, wow, like I'm actually doing this, right? Like this is actually a thing I can do. And then it just kind of slowly evolved into, I guess, what it is now. So that's basically how it happened for me.
Yeah. I remember, I think Rello and I ran into you when you were still guiding out of the Lumilights on the flowage with Dax. Well, we came with Dax, but we knew Dax. We hadn't known you, but I remember, I think your YouTube channel had like 2,000 subs at the time. Like you were doing those little updates and like kind of doing a little bit of fishing. But we had Rello on 2 episodes ago, and we talked about it then, but I do still vividly remember. Those are the loudest fucking things I have ever been in my life, Tom. Like when you're towing someone out, those Illumilights are insane.
I'm going to tell a quick story here. The Illumilights always got everybody to where they were going. I dropped a couple through the ice one time, and I can confirm, connected to a 4-wheeler, they do float. So that's a big time selling point right there. But I hired a guy named Cody at one point to help run the trips. Yeah, Bart probably remembers him. And I remember we'd make these real long, and you guys know how snowmobile trails get in the winter on the ice. Like they'll get real like, rutted or wavy or whatever from where guys are hitting the throttle. So they kind of get these natural bumps in them. And I remember everybody would get out of the shack, and it was like they just went through like a bunch of turbulence, right? And it was like halfway through the winter, and it dawned on me and Cody. We're like, we've never rode in one of these, have we? And we're like, no, we're always pulling people on them. So we rode it one time, and I'll never forget that first ride. It sounded like, you were getting bombed like all around you. Just shrapnel hitting everywhere. It was an effective way to get people across the ice. We just never knew like, how loud and how basically there's no suspension to those machines, I guess.
No, none at all.
None. Yeah. Zero.
Like for people trying to imagine this, just like imagine a soda can on some skis. That's it. Like that is what you are getting pulled in, basically.
Sweet little shacks to fish out of, but do not drive fast if you're pulling people inside of them.
Yeah, and give them some like over the head, earmuffs or something. Just really help them out. Otherwise, when you get there and you go to try to give them instructions, they're not going to listen to you for 10 minutes because they can't hear themselves think anyways.
Yeah, when you get to the spot and everybody just piles out of like they're happy to see land again. I think a lot of the stuff I used to do back then, it was like, man, I was just a kid trying to make it happen, right?
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
How many years did you guide ice fishing too? Like as soon as you became a guide, did you immediately go, okay, I'll do this 4 seasons?
No, it was probably several years of like very minimal, and there was probably like 2 or 3 years of like a lot of capacity. If I'm remembering correctly, I think like 2017 or something like that was probably the last year I did it. It was 100 times more work than like open water.
That's what I was going to ask. Like
everybody,
all the guides I know, they're just like ice guiding is just like that's a grind.
Yeah, it's an insane grind, but that's the interesting thing about guiding, like as a business, right? Very hard to do, like in an area like where I live, or probably where you guys live too, where like there's just not a lot of wintertime opportunity. And even at best, like let's say you're a guide, you're probably done like end of October, and then you pick up again mid-December when you get good ice or something like that, and then you're probably done mid-March, right? Until May 12th.
Yeah.
So there's just these huge like no income windows where like the Mississippi River, the Green Bay, the Lake of the Woods, these are the areas where it's like much more feasible to actually do it.
Well, and that's when people are paying like those no fish times where you're guiding. That's when people are paying Doug, an arm and a leg to go out on Green Bay, and he's running 18 hours a day because he's like, I can run 3 trips today, or whatever it is. Like they're just crushing at those times.
Yeah, that's the beauty of places where you can fish year round,
Yeah, that's interesting. Dang.
So was your vision always kind of with, I guess, coming up with the YouTube stuff? Did you was your focus always going to be, I just want to be the most educational person out there? Like, did you really just want to focus on like teaching, and that's what, how you stumbled into it? Or like, how did you kind of stumble into your style with your videos and doing the walleye stuff?
Well, obviously, like most of us, I was probably really into fishing, and I always wanted to make like the show that I wanted to watch, right? Which I always say, like, I'm not a big flashy like this and that, I could care less about that kind of stuff. It was much more like, where are you? What are you doing? How are you doing it? So that's kind of what I was obviously a fishing dork, right? Like I loved, this little thing you can do to a crankbait makes it do this and you catch more fish. That's kind of stuff I'd stay up at night, like dreaming about doing the next day. So I always kind of wanted to make the show like, what are you doing? Where are you doing it? How are you doing it? Little tips along the way, right? So that was kind of always just, and it kind of dawned on me like multiple years later, like after doing this, and I by no means know everything about walleyes, or nobody does, right? But if you show people like what you have confidence in and little things to do along the way that catch you more fish, it's like a tenfold to the consumer that makes them more interested in not just what you're saying, but like what you're talking about. So it kind of was like a double-edged sword for me, for like both for sponsors and for viewers at the same time. Like it had a ton of selling power, yet I wasn't even selling stuff. I'm sure that makes sense to you guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, totally.
Like you're giving them you're giving them information, and they're going out and doing it, and they're like, oh, this does work. So like when you say something, like you're not having to sit there and feel like you're doing an infomercial. You're just telling them what you're doing and showing yourself catching fish, and they're like, yeah, he's not lying to me. Like,
yeah, that's one of the funniest things to this day to me is like we get messages all the time with the app or like through YouTube or whatever it might be. And people are like, you wouldn't believe it. You would not believe that this happened. But I went out and did that thing that you talked about, and I caught a bunch of fish. And it's
you're like, no way.
Yeah. Well, there's like this disconnect between the internet and like reality. So like when people actually do something and it works, it's like, oh my gosh, like that was a real thing. It wasn't just the internet,
Yeah, that's cool.
Do you find, I mean, because like where you live obviously is like kind of the middle of all things walleye in Wisconsin anyway, just that Northwoods area. Like, do you find now that you've shared like obviously a lot of these things very local to like where you're at, that obviously your audience is around you, that like you're seeing people doing the stuff no one was doing, but you were the only guy, and now you got all these people doing the same thing?
Oh yeah, I mean, I remember like 2017 or 2015 or 16, I started posting a bunch of like jig and wrap content, right? And I remember like it was slip bobbers, bottom bouncers, Lindy rigs, And I remember like one day I posted a video, and this was back when it was probably like 6,000 subscribers or something like that. And I remember seeing people just from a distance, you could just see arms going like this. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, it happened. Like they're here.
Yeah.
They're doing it.
Yeah, this is reality. But yeah, no, I mean, the only thing I try to do now is like protect the fishery a lot more. Be like, hey, like this stuff works. Like many of you might know where I am, but these lakes do not have a lot of fish in them. You know, protect the fish, blah blah blah, and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's a huge part of it too. I mean, how much has everything changed for you too? I mean, we've all kind of come up in this content side through forward-facing sonar coming to light and everything, but like for you, even I find it interesting looking back on your videos and even conversations with you, because I remember you were one of the only people who had like Le Coudray and Round and Grindstone auto charted every inch of it. And you were like out in the middle catching fish out in the middle, but way before forward facing sonar was a thing. And then like when that came out, I'm sure all of a sudden a brain, like you had that light bulb go and you're like, holy cow, my efficiency is about to go through the roof. And you kind of got to go through that. So how much has it changed?
And then
up
the
in a
evolution
year?
of all the people that hate it too.
Yeah.
Well, that's one thing I wanted to ask Tom too. Is like
really
I feel
bringing
like
full circle here.
the walleye community, I feel like, has been way more receptive to forward-facing sonar, even than like the bass community or other communities.
Oh yeah.
And maybe I'm wrong on that because you know the walleye community like inside and out, but like that's just the vibe I get being online. Is like they're receptive to it, and they're not. It's positive. They like it.
Well, here's the reason is that we were never trolling for largemouth bass with 6 rods and 6 planer boards and worm harnesses, right?
And
Yeah.
catching three walleyes.
Yeah, largemouth bass was always flipping a weed edge. It was always pitching a jig and something, right? Now it might be pitching a 1/8 ounce and a minnow and fluttering it off the weed edge for a suspended largie or whatever it is. But I still believe that, obviously, as I'm sure many other people on this podcast have said, that it was one of the most exciting things to happen to walleye fishing for a number of reasons. But as effective as trolling is, as exciting as it might be for somebody who loves walleye fishing to watch trolling, I can't tell you how many people I've had in the boat just over the last couple of years who it's like, you know, maybe I had them out 7 years ago as a client. They're good friends. I took them out recently on a casting thing. They caught 1 fish in 1 hour, and they were like, that was the coolest walleye I've ever caught. You know, it just doesn't compare to, oh, there's a flag dropping. Oh, okay, we're going to reel it slow. Don't go too fast on it, right? Oh, he's getting by the boat. Really slow down on him, you know. He's digging down by the prop. Reel him slow. Let me scoop him. I mean, obviously, we all know that this is a lot more fun to catch a fish than just going like this and setting a rod in a rod holder, right? But as far as back to like what Bart said about like auto charting and all this kind of stuff, like obviously the forward facing changed everything, right? Probably, I'm not going to say walleye fishing more than everything, but it gave us an opportunity to target these fish on a spinning rod versus a trolling rod. And I, for years and years and years, got as dialed as I could on targeting basin fish. So I felt like I already had a pretty good understanding already on like basin fish, how they set up, how far down are they, what kind of like bottom interchange do they like to relate to and sit up high on it? Like, what does the bait do to suck those fish high versus pull them down? Sun, time of day, stuff like this. So the second like forward facing was introduced, it was already like, well, I already know where these fish are. Like, I already know how far down they are, and I already know the stuff they like to eat. So it became obviously a lot easier for me versus maybe somebody else who never did a lot of open water fishing to go out there and target the fish. Now, obviously, the feedback you get targeting open water fish with forward facing is unparalleled to the feedback you get targeting them at trolling. So there's a lot of people way better than me at targeting them, you know, pitching out in the basin. But as far as location wise, like that's one thing I've kind of always felt really confident about was like, I feel really good about looking at a basin and a time of year and being like, this is where the walleye should suspend. So just having that, a ton of that trolling open water knowledge, I felt like helped me just a ton once forward facing came out.
Yeah, I mean that that totally makes sense. And now you're just forward facing came out. You had to have had a drive home at one point. You were like, holy shit, I'm gonna be able to film videos so much faster now. Like I don't have to sit out here for even longer to go get one filmed because you can just go to them and you're like, oh, there they are. I know they're here. Here we go. You know?
Yeah. Here's a weird take. I think I caught more fish trolling than I do casting. Like
Really?
just for fishing, purely fishing. Like how many fish can I catch? I think I caught more fish 5 years ago trolling, like spinner rigs in the summer, than I do now. But it's way more fun to me now. And I catch way more exclusively big fish now. Obviously, a lot of us like we're targeting big basin smallmouth. They're big basin walleyes, right?
Yeah.
So we're kind of keying on those bigger marks. And the content, I feel like in my head, I know 100 YouTube followers are going to disagree, but that it's way more fun to watch a guy go, oh, here he comes, here he comes, here he comes. He's going to eat it. It's a big one. And then you set the hook and you fight him on a spinning rod versus like, oh, I don't want to go too fast here, right? Slow it down. It's a single octopus hook. I better loosen my drag. Like filming trolling sucks. You end up cutting like 80% of the content out of the fish catching. You just like, oh, there's a fish, couple cranks, cut, pick back up. Oh, he's here, scoop. Because there's just nothing in between, right?
Yeah. Dang.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You still got people like in your audience though that I'm sure gotta get on the hate train when you're posting like really heavy forward facing stuff.
Oh yeah, and I try to mix it up. I mean, I still film trolling stuff, I still film casting stuff, but you know, you have to. I try to put it in perspective as best you can. Like, hey, this is if I was casting, this is what I'm going to do. I know I'm trolling today. Here's how you can use forward facing, maybe to alter your trolling spread. Like, see, I never would have known these fish were 5 feet down and 50 feet of water, without this and things like that. So you got to incorporate all their tools. Otherwise, you're just come off disingenuous, right? Like you're not really trying to make the most educational video possible. So, I mean, I try to mix it up still. I even bought a second boat so that I'm not always just fishing out of the bow of a big boat and I can show stuff out of a smaller type of boat type of thing. So I still try to mix it up because I respect people however they want to fish for the fish, obviously, right? We all have our own favorite ways how we want to catch the fish, but I still try to mix it up. And I do like catching a walleye however I catch them. If I scope for 3 weeks in a row, it's still fun for me to watch a board drop and go back. I just don't think it makes as good a content.
Oh yeah, for
That's
sure.
Yeah.
Totally
So
get that.
For somebody that spends, I know you spend a ridiculous amount of time actually on the water. Having obviously used forward facing like a ton, what is other than walleye? What is like the craziest bite you've just stumbled into that you've found just in your being out for so many days on the water?
Probably like Lake Superior stuff. I spend a lot of time on Superior every year. Like lake trout bites that are just like maybe not big ones, but like every cast type lake trout fishing. Or like coho salmon mixed with brown trout, mixed with splake, like that kind of stuff. Lake Superior is kind of really unique as a walleye fishery because you essentially only have this walleye population that lives like really tight to shore because so much of it's really cold, and then you'll get a big wind switch and like it'll blow that warm water out, and then like lake trout and splake and cohos and browns and steelhead all of a sudden like are mixed in with walleyes and other stuff, and then you're like, yeah, you're casting that fish and setting the hook and it's zzz, and you're like, oh, this isn't a walleye, So probably some weird stuff like that, which I try not to delve into too much because then it's just like a dog chases his tail for a while, but and I actually do a really terrible job of filming multi-species stuff. I feel like if I'm on a walleye bite and that's what I'm trying to film and I start catching like salmon or something else, like I don't even put it in the video, and then I like mention it as a cliff note, like, oh, I just caught 3 salmon and this is the first walleye since the salmon, and then people are like pissed I didn't do it, and like I totally understand that. That's a me problem.
That's fair. Cool. I just know like everybody kind of finds weird stuff, like stuff you never really thought, or like how, different fish school up or behave different that you never would have known.
What about what about any crazy white bass? Like, I know you spend a lot of time in Dakotas. Like, you ever just roll into just a megawatt of white bass and just throttle for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, then you leave?
You got to avoid that like the plague, because it will suck half the day away from you. So I had a cameraman for a year. One of my really good friends, Mitch.
Yeah.
Love you, Mitch. This is his first time out on Devils. And it was like this weird cold front where like we weren't really getting on. Like I knew I was going to find fish shallow in a bay somewhere, walleyes, and I just wasn't really like on them yet. And we rolled through this one bay, and you're looking at the side imaging, and it's just like, just whiteys everywhere. And I was like, Mitch, watch this. And I just grabbed a bait off the deck, chucked it as far as I could behind the boat off the left side, and just held the rod high, and just started the white bass. And Mitch is like, dude, pull over. So I pull over, and he catches 3, and I'm like, we got to roll, man. We got to get out. We got to go back to walleyes. And, he's just could have spent all day doing that, but which is probably the fun thing to do. But yeah, I know I get way too stuck up on walleyes. Like I'm way too oriented on the goal to have that extra level of fun most of the time.
Dang, I like that though.
I do appreciate that though. I'm sure your audience knows, like when you post a video, they're like, walleyes. I'm getting walleyes. Yep. Do you do a little bit more multi-species in the winter still, or have you kind of just slowly gone away from it? I know you used to do like some crappie and other species, stuff like that.
Yeah, I think you have to in the winter. The winter's too one-dimensional. I still do crappie stuff, lake trout stuff. It's kind of the main thing: walleye, crappie, Lakers. Lakers are kind of like my sweetheart thing. If I can do them in the winter, if we get good ice on Superior. It's probably one of my favorite things to do all winter, but it just doesn't happen every year. So 80% walleye, 10% crappie, 10% Lakers, maybe.
Yeah,
dude, you've had some incredible crappie pieces too. I love like this is like, maybe this, I don't think it was last year, maybe 2 years ago, right when it started to become more popular, like, shooting with Mega Live straight down and just watching the crappies float up out of the weeds and slowly come in. And you can just like that talk about, I know you feel like it's a stagnant shot, but like when it is so stationary and you are constrained by, your filming setup and your one hole where you just watch them come out of the weeds and just slowly cruise into you. Like that was a really cool piece. The weed crappies were really, I love that piece.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are probably way better at me at like finding these kind of things and getting on the whole crappie deal and stuff like that. Weed crappies are way more fun, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously we all like looking at a stack of fish on a flasher or whatever and picking them off and having them be big and things like that. But there's something about those big clear water, green weed to the surface, to the bottom of the ice crappies where it's like you're sitting there and they attack,
and they just show up.
Yeah, they just show up out of nowhere and
like
they fight hard. They're not 35 feet down. It's just those are the. I feel like probably most of us used to like going out and crappie fishing and looking at a stack of, it's 35 feet of water and there's a stack that thick on the flasher, right? Oh, dude, we're gonna smash them. We drop down and they fly up and we get them. But to me, the most fun crappie bite is maybe at night I go out and catch 7 fish, but they're all 12 to 13 and a half or whatever,
It was right at sunset, like
yeah.
it just had like, oh, that's so sweet.
Those clear water, low numbers bruisers.
Well, and you guys also have some unique bodies of water by you where like in the metro, we don't really have that flash bite. Like that's, like they'll maybe get charged up at sunlight, but we have so much dirty water that like they kind of like to eat in the middle of the day from what we've found. But like when we were out in your area last winter, like just kind of the whole day, just being like, well, probably not going to run into much all day. I really hope I'm in the right spot at 3:30.
Yeah.
And then grind your gears down all the way just till you're running out of gas at the last 30 minutes when it goes down. It's like
let me ask you guys this one. Do most of those bites you guys get on where it maybe is a flash bite in the weeds, right? Are those fish in the weeds all day? Or are they super scattered out over basin? Because I got my own opinion.
Well,
I know it might be different lake to lake, but
I would guess honestly that I think they're probably shallower and hanging in the weeds, just not really doing much. And then when it comes time to sunset, they go to a transition to go feed. Because you know what I mean? Like at those sunset bites, you're normally near a transition. It's not like you're sitting it's not like you're in a 200-yard weed flat sitting at yard 100 in the middle of it. You know, you picked a spot where they're going to migrate through. That's
or like an opening in it or something. Yeah.
That's always been my opinion too.
Some of the lakes, like before forward-facing sonar, that we would get on different weed bites and stuff growing up, and it was just like a flash bite. Then once it came out, like me and my pals, like my buddy Augie and Brock, we'd go back and forth on like, because like we knew they'd be there, like right at sunset, but we never knew where they were before that. And then some of these super clear water lakes, we'd go back and be like, oh, we're gonna pound them in the basin now, like during the day when they're just over there, and they're not there. And there's a lot of different like lakes that set up like that with super clear water that like I don't know if they're like just super buried or they're actually shallower, or I don't know. They're probably just super buried in those weeds and then they just slowly.
Well, I think it's also a thing too that you know, like you've talked about so much, Tom, but forward facing has taught us so much about fish and how much we actually didn't know. Like fish change so much all winter, like even crappies. Like 1 week we'll go to a lake and they're all stacked in like 15 feet, 3 feet off the bottom, and you're chasing them around doing your whatever thing. Then you go back and you're like, the whole biomass of the lake changed. There's no bait in the basin anymore. Yeah. Everything moved up shallow. The big ones are now in 6 feet. They're a pain in the ass to get on, but like you got to try to figure out where you're going to intercept them or whatever. Then you like think you figure it out. So then you go back being like, all right, I'm going to get them this time. And then the whole lake's flipped again. And now they're all the way out deep. And you're like, what are we doing? Like, what environmental factor changed this so much?
Yeah. But it is super interesting, though, the way that you interpret the information now, though, because it's like even when you're doing those things before it, where you just drilled a whole shit ton of holes and just dunked a deucer in every single one, it's like you probably were getting on some of the same stuff, but the way you like thought how it worked is totally like wrong, right? But it still worked to find them. But now you can like see them and you're like, oh my God, they do like totally the opposite or whatever. Like I'm just thinking of so many times, especially with basin fish, where it's like, how many holes would you drill to stay on a school versus now you're like, oh, they're just on the bottom. Yeah. Okay, cool. Like, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking about that with walleye fishing. Like we used to, obviously chase a ton of basin fish. And it's like, man, we were only capitalizing on 10% of the bite for so long, we didn't know the other 90% of it for the whole time.
I've also been just incredibly impressed by how good fish are at just avoiding a hole or avoiding your boat. Like, like they're really good at it.
Yeah, if you're on them, they're just where you haven't drilled yet.
Yeah. Every time they're just like, scoot right over, and you're like, maybe they'll wander over here. They used to 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember when we drilled a hole and like you're like checked it immediately and you're like, oh, there's nothing here. They're not here. And now we watch them and we're like, oh yeah, well they just moved 100 yards the second your auger touched the ice.
I can't believe, God, back in the day when it was preached to like honeycomb an area, like you drill like 50 holes there. God, I feel so bad for those fish. They had to have just been like, there's an earthquake happening above
hundreds
right
of years away by now.
How do they even stay there? Was the crazy part when you actually marked them. It was like, how is this possible now?
It was awesome though. The fishing was still good. Like when you did that, you freaking still crush. And I don't know.
That's what blows my mind is that we did catch them, because if I did that today, they would somehow find the well transfer at the bottom of the lake and go swim to the next nearby
just vaporize.
Lake.
Yeah.
Have you ever filmed a sight fishing walleye piece through the ice with like a big spear hole or a big sight hole?
I never have. I think it's actually legal in North Dakota to do that. Obviously, you can drill a spear hole in Minnesota.
Yeah,
you can like spear them in North Dakota, I think, but there's more of like
I'm talking just fishing out of a sight hole, like get extra shallow.
Because Sobe, we did learn this back in the day when we filmed that video with Perrick. Sight holes are illegal in Wisconsin.
I forget that.
True.
I remember.
Yeah,
The workaround is you drill about 40 holes in your shack with about that much ice in between each one. Which is a major pain in the ass, but no, I felt.
But then when you want to move the bait, you got to reel it all the way up and stick it into the next one.
Plunk it in another one.
Yeah. I have found plenty of walleye bites where I can see them eat, but I've never just drilled it out and then like hung a camera overhead. Yeah. Like Devil's Lake's a great one to actually do it on. You can see those fish eat in a lot of places they are.
Well, and they're so shallow. They're
is it clear enough in some sections of Devil's where it'd be no problem?
Oh yeah, especially in the winter, like Middle Bay or West Bay or East Bay or stuff like that. I mean, you'll catch those fish in 3 feet of water plenty of times. Yeah, even in like Pelican and stuff in the winter when it all kind of settles down.
That's a cool. That would be super cool if you did it. That'd
be cool.
Yeah, I'm really bad at doing things that like are unpractical just to get content. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, oh, we could drill out this spear hole and then film over it, or we could just drill one hole and catch the same amount of fish. Even though that would be like incredible content to like watch via camera overhead. I'm really bad at like doing that extra amount of work to capture that, just to catch the same amount of fish. If you told me I caught 3 times the fish, I'm all about it.
That is one thing though that I like appreciate about your content is like you can tell like you are an angler. So like you said with that, it's like, why would I do that? I'm just going to go drill my hole, catch my fish, teach people how to catch fish, move on with my life. Like, like going with a content idea like that of like, oh, I'm going to drill this spear hole so people see them. It's going to be wicked. Is it more efficient to catching fish? Absolutely not. But it will get a lot of views. Like, you're just more of like that. It's not needed to catch them. So that's why you have the trust of your audience,
Yeah, I always say I have no idea how I ended up on YouTube or being able to do this for a living because I feel like I'm terrible at YouTube. I'm terrible at cameras. I'm terrible at editing, but because it's just like a byproduct of wanting to fish every day.
Yeah. Well, you've done a good job with it.
Well, thanks.
What are a couple early ice walleye tips you could give out? If you had to just give like 3 out the gate. Maybe for shallow Dakota fisheries and maybe traditional Wisconsin, Minnesota fisheries.
Shallow, aggressive, flash bites in the evening. So like shallow, 99% of the early ice fishing I do is 12 to 3 feet of water, outside weed edge, outside piece of shoreline rock structure. Aggressive stuff, fish halfway down in the water column. If you're in 5 feet, fish 2 feet down. If you're in 12 feet, fish 6 feet down. Those fish are generally pretty charged early ice. Even tip ups like run it 4 feet down in 7 feet of water, 4 feet down in 10 feet of water. Like that's a much better set than a foot off the bottom, like everybody always did, like I did for years. And then the flash bite stuff, that flash bite shallow water thing, first light, last light is pretty much the best walleye fishing of the year, in my opinion. It doesn't really get better into January and February, in my opinion. But that's basically the MO for most of, I guess, what I plan on doing the next month.
Yeah, that's good advice.
Love it. So talking about like with the education piece and everything, how'd you end up getting into the Walleye Now app? Like what made you want to be like, all right, I'm going to make an app and we're going to put out we're going to do even more educational content for people? Because just like you said, you feel like you're bad at YouTube. You don't like editing. You're bad at editing, but you were like, you know what? We're going to do more tech. Here we go.
Yeah. So the app was actually, I started doing seminars or started getting asked to do seminars. And I like had this way that it laid out in my mind, which is like it's a time of year, right? And then it's a type of body of water, and then it's structural elements, and then it's presentations. And like that's kind of like the flow chart you go through to like get to catching fish. And then I was like, man, this would make like a cool app or like a presentation or like some kind of big thing at some point. And then I actually had these clients out who were app developers. And I just was like, hey, like, how does this work inside of an app? And they're like, oh, it'd be like this and like this and like this and like this. And you could select them, get to the next screen, select that, and go here and go here. So then we spent 2 years just like building, basically like the building blocks for the app. Now we still add new stuff like constantly to it to build on what's already there. But basically a year later, we started like doing all that stuff and then put it into motion and then launched the app. And then kind of it is what it is now. And it was just kind of like how walleye fishing essentially lays out in my mind is what we put on there, which is select the time of year you're fishing based on water temperature, select the type of body of water, reservoir flowage system, natural lake or river system. And then from there you go to presentations and locations and things like that.
Sorry, I got thrown off by you're so good at using the automated AI features on StreamYard with the celebrations and everything.
How did that come on? Is it a thing?
I don't know.
I don't know. There was a lot of fireworks.
I don't know how I've seen that one before, but it was incredible.
I'm trying to replicate it and I can't.
Yeah, if you're not subscribed on YouTube, great. You just missed 4th of July on the Tom Boley screen.
How many people are involved with the Walleye Now app? Like, is there people that have to constantly run it on the back end, or does it kind of like once the infrastructure is up, is it not too horrible to manage?
Yeah, so like anything I've ever done, I know absolutely nothing about it. So when I started out doing Walleye Now, I was like, oh, we'll just get an app team and they'll create it, right? So I didn't realize how much like back end work there was. So Mitch, my lovely cameraman who worked for me for a year and a half or 2 years, he actually runs a lot of the backside of it, does a lot of the programming stuff, helps with the code. Like, hey, we want it like this. We need this button to be here because this is the natural selection. So it's like talking a foreign language, right? We're fishermen. You're trying to talk to someone building an app. They're talking coding. You're talking fishing. Two different things, right? They don't mesh very well. So he's constantly trying to make it like, hey, as an angler, this is how we think about it. This goes here. This goes here. This is the last thing we think about. Where they're trying to like, hey, so it's kind of like where the two minds meet. So he does a lot of actually the backside of it. Anybody has a problem logging in or something like that. And there's so much of that backside stuff that goes on that we just had no idea about when we started doing it. We're just like, hey, we'll make it and the people will get it. And this will be this, right? It's constantly kind of, I'm not going to say an uphill battle, but it's constant like upkeep with having something like that. Every X amount of months, Apple has to come out with an update just for some bizarre reason. And so then we have to update some level of coding to meet that level of, their update for our app. And there's constant updates going on. And then when you do an update, you might have to troubleshoot this on Android, but this works good on Apple, but then this does not work on Android. So there's constantly this thing going on that I try not to get too involved in unless I'm really needed to like, hey, we got to do this to get here, to get here, to get here. But it's a lot more work than we thought when we got started. Yeah.
But did you from the beginning be like, oh yeah, this is probably going to work super good? Or was there like this, growing into it thing where you're like, we obviously don't know what we're doing, but like we can make this go probably.
Yeah. I mean, we were optimistic. We were blindly optimistic, I think, that YouTube was working. So like this thing was going to work. Obviously there was a lot we didn't know. Now the double-edged sword of doing something like this is obviously what you guys can probably imagine from a YouTube perspective, right? If I go out fishing on a lake in North Dakota, a really big lake, everybody's going to want to know where I am, and they're going to want a full breakdown on this, that, and the other thing, right? Mm-hmm. Now, in the YouTube video, I might be like, hey, if you guys are fishing a big reservoir system out west for walleyes, you got to be focusing on points in the middle of summer, especially in this late summer time frame. These big points that extend out in the basin, they're going to hold fish at some level, 25, 35, whatever. Now, if you want to see the full breakdown, make sure you get over to Walleye Now. Now, obviously, that turns some people off, right? Now, on the Walleye Now side of things, you might see something like, hey, there's a big migration of fish that happens from where the river comes in. These fish migrate way down to the other end of the lake by the middle of summer. These points that top out and have little blips out at 35, this is where the big ones suspend, and this is how we target them. That might be the difference in content. So I totally understand how someone on YouTube who's not on walleye now might be like, man, he used to give out so much. Now it's a little bit less. But ultimately, we're all trying to create a way to do our job, right? With YouTube, I always say with YouTube, and you guys could probably agree, is it's however many different ways you can make a penny off of you, right? And that might be from a watch, that might be from buying a shirt, that might be from downloading the app, that might be from whatever. And Walleye now is just kind of like one more media outlet where I can push kind of like that high level stuff.
Well, dude, it's just like, I mean, Sobe was in YouTube back in like the glory days with Peric when like payouts were, I think, much more aggressive than they are now, and stuff isn't as saturated. But like you said, Tom, it's like all about diversifying and figuring out how to do stuff. Like for people, people are like, "Oh, you're living the dream. You're crushing it out there." It's like, well, I'm living the dream. I'm fishing, but like by no means are we making a shitload of money right now. Like we have to branch out and do this because we want to go do it. But the reality is you got to figure out how to pay the bills. And like you said, it's as many streams as possible ultimately.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even in I call it, short YouTube career. I've seen it just, the YouTube revenue, it doesn't get me to North Dakota and back 20 times a year. It doesn't pay for the boat. It doesn't do this. So, you got to do literally every stream you can possibly get to make a cent or whatever is what you have to do.
I totally agree. Dang. The app is so cool though. It's just so, I'm sure just like, how like we're so inundated with so many different apps or whatever. There's so many different apps out there. It just seems so like, oh, we'll just start an app. Like I've like thought about that so many times, and like to talk to somebody who's actually now done it, like however many years you put into building it and now the management of it. Like I'm sure it's like, dude, it's probably so much, dude. It's probably been so much hard work, and just, all applauds to you and your team to like pull it off, dude, to create a freaking awesome fishing app. Like that's taken a lot.
Yeah, it's, I don't know, blindly going into something and just kind of doing our best, right? And it's not perfect. I mean, I'll be the first to say that there's still things I want to do. There's always like a wall of like, when can you get to this? When can you do this? When can you do this? It doesn't all happen like as a, snap of a finger or whatever, but I think as, anglers, we always wanted to kind of, at least me in my mind, I always want to be like, if someone were to jump on here and wanted to get on walleyes quickly on this, like, what's the best tool to do so? And that's kind of what we always chase in my mind. But yeah, the whole app world, I mean, there's obviously so much potential there. I mean, we look at something like Onyx Fish, for example, right?
Yeah.
Great idea, integrates really well to what a lot of us are doing every day. And it's just, what's that next thing that does the same thing for a lot of anglers, I guess.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. Yeah, where do you see fishing content going, or walleye content, maybe more specifically, or anything like that? Yeah, where you've seen it change.
Yeah, I mean, walleye content, there's going to have to be some point, I think, where technology is going to get to a certain point where, like, obviously forward facing right now is, it's not out of reach of like the average viewer, but at some point something may happen where it's just, you're filming something that's outside of the league of most people. And I think it's going to be like whoever can maybe be using that stuff, but be the most like grounded to like, hey, if you're someone doing this is a really simple application for this. Like, I'll admit, I'm probably the first person to go out too often, put the trolling motor on 10, fly across the basin, maybe not cast for 2 hours, and then cast at a fish and catch a 29-incher, right? That content, as cool as it might be to watch, is not just applicable to people. Just aren't going to do that who have a week, 5 weekends to fish a year, right? And those are the people who are like the bread and butter of my channel. They want to know how you're fishing, where you're fishing, how you're going to go out, how you're going to catch a fish, things like that. So as cool as that as excited as I might get about that content, it's probably not great content for most people. So I think at some point we're going to get to a spot where it's like I said, it's, maybe you're pulling bottom bouncers still, which is incredibly boring, but here's how you can integrate this super sick technology into that bite to either watch it, catch more fish, whatever.
I like that. How about you, Ryan or Bart? Anything to add to it?
Yeah, I got one. So just like as somebody who's caught an absolute shit ton of walleyes, and definitely kept a bunch of them, what is your absolute number one your favorite way to eat them that you would recommend anyone do it, or that
Dude,
the best way you've ever had it? But just,
I'm a bad person to ask here. I should be asking you or someone else here because I eat.
Well, that's
probably...
not how this is gonna go, though.
I probably eat.
Hey, you're on my podcast now, bitch.
So I mean,
I probably eat 3 walleyes a year. When Shelby
that's
says,
it.
"Hey, I want fish," which is a pretty poor answer.
How does she like to eat them?
Fried, deep fried. Yep. So I try to go to the most numbers infested lake I can find and keep a bunch. But yeah, I got some questions for you guys though, if you guys are willing to entertain them.
No.
We'll decide. We'll
Yeah,
see.
I don't think so.
All right.
No, shoot.
All right. As being in a similar situation as I am, where I film basically a ton of walleyes, as guys who film a ton of crappies, right? How do you keep content fresh when you're just filming one species of fish and going for essentially big ones most of the time?
So I guess my thought has been just new places. That's kind of the way I think of it, because like for example, the first 2 years we did all metro for the most part, big crappies, and like it went really, really great. But by the end of year 2, like Pink would say too, I think we were about ready to slit each other's throats, just because like you're doing the same thing over again. You're getting
it was
mad,
just too
like,
much,
and it's too much. And like I don't think people also realize, you know, how much of a grind it is. But then add in like I'm the only one who works for myself, so then I'm going around their work schedules and you know all that. So then season 3 we went and traveled a bunch. Well, when we got back home that year, like we went out fishing, filmed the last video, and then we were all like, who wants to go fishing again? Like we were still so fresh. And it was because we weren't driving to the same places. We weren't driving down the same road. Well, then the last 2 years, you know, we kind of came back because everyone was like, well, we want to see the 18-incher. So the last 2 years, we kind of, you know, bum rushed the metro, tried to hit it as hard as we could, got 2 big ones. And once again, by the end of last year, I think we were all looking at each other like, we cannot do this anymore in the same, like we can come back and film once or twice, but I like, there's no way we can go back to the same level of pushing really hard there. So I think a big thing is like going new places, because you know how it is with fish, Tom. No fish are ever the same. No bites are really ever the same. And like, even when we're filming in the metro, the bites aren't the same, but to us, they feel the same because we're going to the same place over and over. So when you just go out and run into different places, yeah, we're catching them in the inside turn of a basin, but I've never been on that inside turn before. So I'm cool with
but
that.
but it's also like the story element too, to where it's like, yeah, the bite might be the same, but at least there's all this other stuff going with it, you know, like the travel to that place. Because it's like when we're just fishing around home, you're just, nothing happens. Man, we go out for the day and then I drive back home and dump my crap in the garage. It's like, okay. It's not all that exciting, I suppose. But
yeah, for me, I mean, I relate to that because, you know, like when there's nothing more exciting than when you go to somewhere new and you're starting to kind of like put it together and you're like, oh, we're building, and then you hit it, you know, like that's the storyline. So like when you keep, it's hard to replicate that when you go out somewhere, you know, and you're like, oh, we're on it, you know, surprise.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, you know. Yeah.
That's the coolest thing nowadays is like, and it's not even a shameless plug, but like having DNR surveys, having Onyx fish, and then having forward facing sonar, like you can recreate the magic of like opening up a bite again and again and again. And it's not like, dude, I'm like 6-7 years ago, like I just wouldn't go to somewhere in Park Rapids, Minnesota, and just walk on a lake and expect to have any success. But like nowadays, it's like you at least know what lives there, what was surveyed, and you have good lake maps nowadays. So it's like you can at least put yourself in a position where like maybe even in a day or a day and a half, like you could really put all the pieces together like fast. And that's just like, I mean, back in the day, it'd be years to like unlock or open up certain lakes that are like right in my backyard. And you're just like, especially ice fishing, because you're so like, I mean, you're so restricted, but like, yeah, nowadays having those tools, like it's, you can recreate that magic, or at least I feel like I get that magic. Like you said, even if you go to a lake and you're like, I've caught a lot of 12-inch crappies before, but if I've never been on this lake or we found them in this back corner, I've never even stepped foot on this lake. And it's like, you found them. Oh my God, we finally found them. And then poof, it's like, I don't know, you get that same dopamine hit that you would, I don't know, doing it locally or whatever, like we all love.
I would agree with, and like, it's like the perfect time for, I mean, us and I mean, you too, Tom, like rolling around everywhere with Onyx Fish and more data becoming available, just because like you can just, as a good angler, you can put yourself in a position where you're like, okay, if there's something here, I'm going to run into it, and I'm okay taking that risk. And like, I think Ryan would agree with this, but like last year, I filmed 2 17.5-inch crappies, like the biggest fish most people will ever see filmed. And the highlight of my winter was for sure in Hayward when we ran into that flash bite, without a doubt. Because we had pounded the pavement for 2 days. One day it was -50. And then the next day we're like, we're going to do so good on these 2 lakes. And we went to them and they were awful. And then we go to the third lake with an hour left of light because we're like, maybe we can salvage something. We walk like the rim of it. It's ass. And we're like, cool, we caught 2 2-pound largemouth. Sweet. And walk across the lake and, put live down and watch the whole lake come to life. And like Sobe said, I've caught a lot of 12 to 14-inch crappies in my life, a lot of them.
But those were the biggest 12s.
Those 14 of them we caught were extraordinary. They were so fun. Like that, and like we all packed up that night and like, just talking to each other, walking back to the ramp. You're like, that was sick. That, you're just like, that was so cool. So that's a long-winded answer, but like of answering, how you do the same content, it does sometimes feel like it's over and over, but I feel like if you put yourself in new situations, it doesn't always feel like it's so. That's how I don't understand how some guys who do make content or YouTubers or whatever it is, like kind of go do the same things every year. Like, here's my Red Lake run. Okay, now there's ice here. Now I'm over here. Now I'm going here. And it's like, dude, you've done the same thing for 8 years in a row. How does that still excite you? But if it trips their trigger, that's sweet. I just can't do that.
Yeah, that's the hard part about like ice fishing, right? Is because we all want to get ice on ice in the next week and a half, right? And like how many places are going to have ice? Red's probably not going to be ready by Thanksgiving or won't be.
Yeah.
There'll be some sloughs in North Dakota. There might be little pothole lakes that you guys have already fished for crappies that are probably going to be fishable by a week from now and things like that. But yeah, no, I agree with you. Like as far as shooting content, I always just wondered that because obviously I'm someone who basically shoots the same type of fish over and over and over and over. And it's mainly just traveling and storylines to getting on them or hunting for exclusively big fish or whatever it might be. But yeah, it always just, it's always interesting. I mean, I think there's obviously still a hunger for people to watch crappie content, no matter how many crappie videos you guys film, or there's always obviously a hunger for walleye content too. It's just, it probably plays more of a role in our minds than it does in the viewers' minds, honestly.
100%.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, like we've even said too, we're like, how many more times are people going to watch this? Like, watch us do this. Because if, like you said,
I've been saying that for 8 years.
But yeah.
I mean, hell, Tom, I even made the joke with Sobe at some point in time. You started rerunning names of videos, and it works even better the second time. It's crazy. It's awesome.
First of all,
I love it.
I might be the worst thumbnail titling guy of all time?
No, that's
no. Your
feel
thumbnails hit.
No, dude, they're good. I feel the same way, dude. I like you can put so much effort into capturing something and putting a whole video together, put a bite together, put everything, and then like it'll go to the title and thumbnail and be like, I don't freaking know, dude. I don't know.
Yeah, and
I don't know. Yeah.
And either you nail it or you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the lowest point as a YouTuber, right? It's when you got something that you know is just lightning in a bottle. And you type in that title and you're like, this is it, right? You make that thumbnail and you're like, oh, send her off, baby. And you hit publish. And it just doesn't do it.
And then
dude, I accepted that like season 3 of the Chronicles. We were in the UP. Pink will remember this. We had this video that I was like, dude, this video is gonna smash. This is at that point we hadn't had like a 50K video yet. And I was like, this is it. Like this one's gonna do it, you know? And I hit it, and like by the next day, it was like the 10th out of 10 performing video.
Yeah,
and that's you know, it's just a nice kick, swift kick in the dick. And you're just like, after that, I was just like, no emotional attachment, no more, none.
It just is
Zero
what it is.
to it. And like that's the same thing as the last Montana video. The one we posted tonight, you know, it's whatever. But like the last one, I was like, the first one did really good. And I'm like, all right, the second one, like we caught him good. We ran into the sunset bite. It's like super fun. There's trout and walleyes and like it's sweet. And I posted it and like it did okay the first day and then it just died. And I was like, I hate everybody. Like any video that I had fun doing, I feel like everybody hates. And every video I feel like I just killed myself making. They love my pain.
Oh yeah, I got this buddy Cameron who he comes into deer hunts with me every year, and he's like, dude, why don't you just go and catch a bunch of big fish? And I'm like, dude, it's not. That's a very small part of what actually makes us money, right?
Yeah,
weird. I haven't thought of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no, you bring that up, dude. I'll try that. Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't I do that? Yeah.
How'd you explain it to him?
How did I explain that to him?
Yeah.
I was like, I don't even think I went down the rabbit hole of, you know, what. Sometimes I swear the best video I can make is go out to my local lake and catch 3 15-inch walleyes on a slip bobber and then come home and talk about why a slip bobber is good and title it 3 must-know tips to slip bobbering walleyes. And it gets, you know, blah, blah, blah views and makes a ton of money. And then I go on a 5-week adventure and catch 13 fish over 29 inches and it gets, you know, way less views. I'm like, that was a good expenditure of dollars right there. As you guys know.
You had fun.
Yeah. Well, but that's
I mean, that's what it's about, right?
It's also for us, like, you know, as content creators, it's like at some point you do need to just go do what you love and you're passionate about. And it's like if people don't want to watch it, whatever. Like I'm gonna go nuts if I have to keep going doing this other stuff. So that's how people burn out. So
I'm a firm believer in that. The number of times I've said on video, like, hey, I cannot film 3 more slip bobber walleye tips. I just cannot do it. You know,
believe it or not, I don't got them. Like, there's not more.
Yeah, I don't have 3 more.
At every
all 3 of them. Yeah, 27 times. But you have to chase what you're passionate about. Number one, it excites you, right? Like when you guys go do something you've been wanting to do and land on that bite finally after a bunch of days. That's the most exciting point in your guys' content creating life, right? Same with me. It's the most exciting part for me. And then when that comes through on camera, whatever the titling and the captioning and the thumbnail does, I mean, like people want to see that genuine like excitement or genuine like authenticity on camera. I mean, that's what actually gets people to subscribe, actually gets people to, you know, buy the product maybe you're talking about, that in turn gets you a sponsorship or whatever. So no, I fully agree.
I was going to say too, I think what also helps avoid that is we film crappies for 3 or 4 months. You do it for like 9. So, you know what I mean? We do get a break where Pink goes and rips some muskies. I go bass fish for a while. You know,
not 9. I feel like Tom you'd probably say you do it for 11.
Yeah. Okay. 11, whatever.
Well, I did it in November this year.
Catching
so
crappies.
It's probably 12. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, But luckily it changes, right? I mean, thank the Lord we have seasons where
Yeah.
things change.
Yeah.
That's like when like summer turns to fall, I'm always like, oh, thank the Lord we cannot talk about bass and walleyes anymore,
Yeah, for sure. Have you done a Canadian trip or anything yet?
No, and there's one weird reason for that. Everybody's like, oh, you must have a bunch of DUIs or something like that, and you can't go to Canada.
You probably do.
Well, I am from Wisconsin.
Yes, but also.
But they don't give them out there.
What is it, like 1.6 they start giving them here or something like that? But no, I don't know. I just always watch so many shows where it's like, like, oh, there's another walleye on. Oh, drop down, another walleye on. Where like I can't like go do that and get excited about it. Like my dad goes to Canada 7 times a year now that he's retired. And he's like, oh, we caught 140 walleyes yesterday. I'm like, I don't know if I could do it. I don't think that's the thing for me. Granted, like ice fishing, there's things where I'm always like, oh, I should do Winnipeg, But the other thing is like I try to get off ice. I feel like a lot of people try to film ice all the way through till the end and then save a bunch and then bank it and then turn it around for the next year. Where like I do the opposite thing. Like I try to get off ice as early as possible and start banking content for spring, because spring walleyes is like the jam for walleye fishing, right? So I bank so from third week in January until March 1st, I'm banking walleye content in a boat for spring. So I like flip it around and go the other way most of the time.
Yeah, no, I mean that totally makes sense.
Yeah.
I do think though, like if you went and did if you did a Canadian trip and it was like, all right, I know all you come up here and catch 100 or 140 of them, whatever. I'm going to go dump my boat into whatever, Clearwater, Wekusko, I don't know, Winnipeg, and just be like, I'm going to go do my thing. I'm going to go try to find big ones. I'm not casting at these 20 inchers or whatever it is. Like I cannot do that. But I think it would be cool that like you could definitely do some sort of spin on it that I think would be very entertaining to watch. Just different,
Yeah, like the Hunt for the One series we started doing this year, where you're just targeting real big ones. Like that plays really well into Canadian stuff. So I got like a whiteboard in my office here where like I got lake names written down, just like where I'm kind of like always just sitting here editing, looking them up at them, be like, oh, maybe this is the one this week. So there's a few up there that are in Canada that we may do this year. But in my opinion, yeah, you can't go there and just do like, I caught 100 walleyes in a day. You have to do like here's our hunt for a 31.5 incher.
I would also like to see you go down to like Bull Shoals or stuff like that, like the Ozarks. Like
I did Table Rock this year.
Or that's what it was, Table Rock. Yeah.
I am heading that direction in the end of January, so I will be down in that whole neck of the woods for basically 2 months before season opens up here.
That'll be sweet. That'll be really cool.
Yep. Catch some spots on a jerkbait, catch a couple walleyes,
Head on out to New York eventually.
Dude, there's a guy on my YouTube channel. Shout out to this guy. True OG, true legend of the YouTube comment section. Every video I post, doesn't matter what it is, doesn't matter when I post it. He's one of the first guys to always comment. He always says Chautauqua is waiting for you, which is the walleye lake in New York, I believe.
If you ever go there, you got to hit him up.
Never been there, but
you gotta hit him. You gotta go there eventually, hit him up and be like, I can't open this video without you. And then like you just open it with just like you just spam all the comments up there and be like, we're here.
We're here. Chautauqua is waiting for you. Yeah.
Sure, that's not like his sister or something.
My problem is it's hard to drive really far. Like when you keep driving by walleye water to get to more walleye water, which I'm sure you guys probably have the same problem when you get in the truck and try to go somewhere.
Oh yeah.
I will say I feel like that, but like also then we went to Maine and we were like, that was really sick. I would like to go back. Would recommend. We'll drive back that far.
I've thought about doing that one for years. What's the guy's name who's always at the ice show? The main guy,
Joe
the trapper
Holland.
guy.
Joe. Yeah, Joe Holland.
Yes.
Joe Holland. Yeah.
Did you guys connect with him or just went?
Well, we were
before
going.
we went, we did.
Shout out to that guy.
We were going, but then he ended up, I don't know, he ended up randomly DMing me in like October or November that year. Like I hadn't contacted him or anything. And then we ended up starting
when we went.
Yes.
Yeah, we connected like for information and stuff and like chatted about the whole thing. But he ended up going on like a different trip at the same time. So we didn't actually end up fishing together.
We would have collabed with him for sure. But then I think he did some like trapping stuff or whatever, like way in northern Maine with like David W.
Or they were like backcountry trout fishing or something.
Yeah. So then we met up with CJ, but would recommend. Very cool. There's just so many different fish to catch out there. It's ridiculous. Like, very cool experience.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. I talk to that guy every year at the ice show in St. Paul, and it always sounds like a wild trip.
It's would recommend. You won't hear us say anything bad about it.
How many people do you guys?
Except for it basically will feel like you're just at home, driving around that place.
Yes.
But you good Northern Scotty folk?
No, just the landscape is very reminiscent of.
Oh no, the people are not like that.
No, not at all.
Oh, really?
Very East Coast. Yeah.
They're not cool.
Oh.
Well, they're fine.
Bummer.
They like salt though. That's like a thing.
Uh-huh.
Huh.
I don't know.
Very overly salt their food.
Had in my life.
Yeah.
Must be the ocean.
Fun fact.
Interesting.
But yeah. No. So was that the only question you had for us? Did we just talk about that one question for like 25 minutes?
I don't even remember my other question, actually. I think we might have led into it about that was my main question, though. I wanted to know how you guys can film crappies every day and make it different and intriguing, because I battle the same wall every day I go fishing.
Oh, I feel it. I will bring the same thing up to you that I brought up to we brought up to Clayton, though. And it's with YouTube having the new collab feature and everything, we need to all actually like go fishing together again. Because like when we were all young and like first in YouTube, we all like collabed and stuff. And then we all got busy and like got bigger. And then nobody ever goes fishing with each other anymore. And that was like a huge thing like a decade ago in YouTube, was everybody was going fishing and everything together. So we all got to start going out together again.
I know, it's really, like, you think about it, it's not like there's a ton of people, right? I mean, it's maybe 30 people total. I mean, we could literally all go fishing at the same time on the same lake, and we never do it.
What we should really put together is, like, I know Jay Clayton and them got like the Outpost and stuff, but we need to do something that's like what Barstool did with the Barstool Invitational, but fishing, where we grab all of us,
the whole Midwest.
Yeah, where we grab all us like upper Midwestern ice like content guys, and like, I don't know, I'm sure there's a resort on Devils or Lake of the Woods or something that would like host us, and we just go there and be like, all right, we don't know what we're doing, but we're doing something all together. Let's figure it out.
Ready
and
to go.
I think people would flip. I think it'd be crazy.
It would be cool.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll participate in any ice tournaments, Tom? Like the fish donkey ones or anything like that? You ever throw your hat in the ring for a walleye category one?
I've just never had interest in tournaments, honestly. And I get asked like all the time to like partner or do this or do that or whatever. And I don't know. I feel like I got enough challenges in my day-to-day life to pile that on top of it. Yeah. I also just like, I follow like walleye tournaments somewhat closely, and like I just cannot stand like fishing drama as like, and I'm not saying like everybody's doing this in walleye fishing or bass fishing or whatever, but like,
bass fishing they are. Yeah, that's
they are all doing
it. Yeah. It's all drama over there. You're good.
Okay,
you
good.
can say that. You're fine.
But like I just, man, dude, like I've always thought like, and I always see it like with hunting or fishing or whatever. It's like, man, the second like ego like comes into the sport, like it's not even fun for that person anymore. Like,
yeah,
you know, I see it so many times that it's like, man, I hope I'm never the guy who's like, you know, oh, my fish wasn't as big as that, or like, you know, this was, I don't know. It's like that part, like I just want to keep fishing because I love to do it and not get tied up in you know, a lot of the other things that go on in the industry. But like the one thing I always thought walleye fishing needed was like someone who every circuit has like an MC, right? And whether it's bass fishing, walleye fishing, whatever, I feel like you need somebody out there, especially in the walleye world, who's like in a boat, like, hey, this is what these guys are actually doing right now. This is how the fish are actually relating it in layman's terms, not just like, hey, this guy's flying through with this trolling motor and just like whipping baits around and catching a few big fish. Like you need someone like an interpreter, like giving that information out, you know.
Yeah,
and I think that would I think that would make walleye fishing, bass fishing like explode, like on the tournament side, where there's like actually a level of like, I'm not gonna say like the curtains lifted up and it's everything these guys are doing, but it's like a layman's term of like, here's how you could duplicate this on a lake that you maybe fish, you know. And that's kind of my like the only role I could ever play in tournament fishing would be some kind of role like that, I think.
Yeah. No, I feel that. I think that like lines up a lot with, I remember you posted a video on Facebook. I didn't get to watch the YouTube video, but it was the video where you like called out the forward facing comment, and then you did the side imaging sniping, and you were like, oh no, would it be the worst thing in the world for people to catch more fish? Like, I just resonated with that so hard, because people get so mad about like certain stuff or technologies or education or teaching people how to catch fish, and it's like, we're just teaching people how to catch fish and care for fish better. Is that a bad thing? And I really liked when you did that video. Is this all a joke? Maybe it's all a joke. Maybe I am a joke. I loved that video. I laughed very hard at it.
I always make it a point to do one of those a year, but I didn't even realize the comment that I said. It was I gotta think of the exact wording. Imagine if anybody could come out here and catch a fish. That's what I said. I didn't even realize at that point that comment was funny. And I was sitting there in the living room, like on the kitchen counter editing it. And I was like, you know how it is, like play through it, chop, chop, chop. And I played through it, and Shelby was making dinner. And it was, imagine if anybody could just come out here and catch a fish. And she just burst out laughing. And I was like, all right, that needs to go in the video.
It's gonna hit.
It hit for me. I had the same reaction.
It was funny. I will say that.
Yeah, I mean, just it's like a comment where it's like, man, we're all taking this way too seriously, right? We all gotta. If you can't laugh at it, then you might be the problem.
Yeah,
for sure. No, well, boys, do you guys got anything else for Boley? Well, we got him here.
Let's have him here for. So we're leading up. We're a week away, basically, from like the St. Paul Ice Show. Let's just go around the horn. Sobe, give us the straight up hopes, fears, and dreams St. Paul Ice Show.
Ooh. Okay. Yeah. Hopes.
St. Paul Ice Show edition, or like ice fishing?
Yeah.
St.
Paul Ice Show.
Oh God. Okay.
St. Paul Ice Show 2K25, December 5th through the 7th, St. Paul River Center. Be there or be square. My hopes is that I don't get tased. Adam and Ryan and the PTB Nation, they want to tase me and physically abuse me. I'm ready.
I will explain this to you after he's done, Tom.
This is a punishment,
Tom. The lack of context is better.
Yeah. My hope is I hope I don't get tased. My fear, I get deathly ill. Always going to a show, I'm like, God dang it, I'm going to get sick, dude. You touch 55,000 hands, and you're like, I'm going to get sick. And my dream one day, it won't happen this year, but in the future, I'd really love to bring a dunk tank to the St. Paul Ice Show. And whether it's for charity or something, like I want big names like a Tom Boley. I want Adam Bartushik. I want random people to be sitting on this dunk tank, and I want to throw freaking dingers and drop them in.
I think we do that. We get that involved next year for an expansion of the St. Jude fundraiser. We'll just get like 20 different ice fishing influencers. They each get an hour on the tank. So they tell their fans, they're like, you want to dunk me? Like $10 at the row.
$5.
Get over here.
All right, round the horn. Continue on.
Oh, also for context, Tom, he didn't follow through on a bet at all. So it's been a year and a half
fantasy
now.
fishing.
Yeah, it's been a year and a half now, and he hasn't followed through on his bet of fishing a tournament.
Tom doesn't want to hear that tournament drama, okay?
So,
he doesn't want to hear.
We just told him we may have said that Pink and I may bring a low grade taser to the St. Paul Ice Show, and the first
but we're
3
gonna let
fans
other
of the
people do it
who come up to us, we'll give it to them. So
that's pretty high stakes fantasy fishing bet, honestly.
Well, it's gotten worse because he just wouldn't compete. Yeah, he wouldn't complete the punishment,
All he had to do was fish a tournament with a Snoopy pole,
Oh,
no big deal.
Didn't
do it. So we're to the taser.
I never even
Are you a man of your word, Tom?
I never even opened it.
Are you a man of your word, Tom? Would you follow through on that if you made that bet?
I would have caught a walleye on the Snoopy pole, honestly. I probably would have.
It just probably isn't that hard, right?
No, dude. I mean, you literally drop a slip hopper down right next to the boat, and you reel in a walleye. So, and they don't even they don't fight either. So it'd be double.
So what you're saying is this wouldn't have been a major hurdle for you, probably to cross.
Not as a walleye fisherman.
Circumstances. No. Yeah. Okay.
No, not as a walleye.
Just as an angler in general.
I'm not going to say just as an angler in general, but as a walleye fisherman, there's several bites I can think of where I could just drop down a bait and slowly reel in a average sized walleye. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Hope's Fears Dream. St. Paul Ice Show.
All right.
Who's going next?
You want to go, Tom?
Sure. I mean, hopes, fears, dreams. Hope is that it's super busy, I guess, and there's a ton of enthusiasm for early ice. I think we've obviously gone through a couple of years now where there's like a little bit of enthusiasm and then ice just doesn't do what you want it to. I mean, we obviously all of us rely on like a super successful ice fishing industry across the entire Midwest.
Mm-hmm.
It can't just be northern Minnesota. It can't just be northern Wisconsin and Canada. So that would be great if we had just great ice fishing business all the way till the end of February this year for the whole Midwest. Fears, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say we've all experienced it. We've all been there. Is the guy who shows up generally smells bad, generally talks to you for like 3 hours. No, here's what normally happens. Leaves the booth, comes back, and like every other 30 minutes, and you're just like locked down with one individual for 30 minutes for 5 hours of the entire day. That's probably like a worst case. And like the conversation really never gets anywhere. I love talking to people about fishing as much as the next guy. But when you're trying to talk to, everybody that's there, there's always that one guy. So that's probably always the fear of these things.
Dude, you can't talk about Spock like that. Like you can't.
Who's this?
No, I'm kidding. We love Spock. Andrew Osowski.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm not talking about it.
Yeah, no, we all love Spock. I thought of that.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Where was it? Where was I?
Dreams.
Sorry.
Dreams now.
I derailed that.
Hopes, fears, dreams. So the dreams part, what are we dreaming about at the St. Paul Ice Show? What are we dreaming about? I guess that there's just early ice. I guess like that's the big motivating feature, right? Of that show is especially if there's like ice in the future that we can all be on ice like tomorrow using all the stuff we buy. And I guess quick little side question here. What's your guys' opinion on like that show? Because do you guys ever go to like the Wisconsin show down in Oshkosh?
We've been asked to go there the last 2 years, but it's always when we're filming our first trip. So well, I would love to go do it. But
we haven't attended it.
Yeah.
So
I've heard the last 2 years it's been nuts.
Yeah, that's what we heard. Okay, so that's good.
Insane, like enthusiasm off the charts. It reminds me of like the St. Paul show like 6-7 years ago.
Before parking was $50 a day.
Yeah, before that and like everything else. But yeah, I mean there's like a level of enthusiasm there that's like, holy cow, like this is what I thought all these things like used to be. So
cool.
I mean, and hopefully it's just, I don't know if it's just because it's new or like it's that Oshkosh area where you got Lake Winnebago and there's such a huge number of like ice guys down there that are just always praying for ice every day. But yeah, I mean that's obviously the dream. We all want to see ice fishing boom. And I think after like a tough several years, we want to see just enthusiasm through the roof.
All right, I'll go with mine. Hope, I would say, is I hope, and I believe we will, but I hope we sell all 200 of those tickets to our St. Jude fundraiser on Saturday night. Yeah, $100 a seat. Come have beers with us at Tom Reed's. Tom won't be able to be there. I texted him, but he's only going to be at the show Friday, Saturday, so then he has to head home. I will say, though, non-confirmed, there are 3 other guests from Canada who may have picked up tickets today, so I'm not going to say their names in case they don't show up, but you can imagine.
Jay just bails, buys a ticket.
It was not Jay. It was not Jay who contacted me. But anyway, so I hope we sell all those tickets. I think we will, especially rolling up to it. But yeah, everybody should go buy a ticket. Come hang out with us down at Tom Reed's. Fears is that somehow this taser thing's going to turn on me. Or so not the taser part, but I think Sobe's gonna figure something out to get at me for publicly humiliating him on here for like the last year for not going through on his back.
Hey, that's PTB Nation. I don't know what to tell you.
And it's fair.
If you're getting bad vibes about it, it's okay. You can just shut it down, dude. You sleep easy tonight.
Nah, I think we'll bring it. I think it'll be fine.
We'll figure it out.
And then dreams is that we sell everything out at the St. Paul show by like 11:15 a.m. Sunday, so we all go home.
Be cool.
Wow, that's a big dream.
So you guys got to play. You guys got to play this smarter. You got family stuff going on Sunday. You got to be traveling for work, on Monday morning early, and then you got to be out of there at the latest at Saturday morning.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
That's kind of hard to do. That's kind of hard to do when our seminar's in the afternoon on Saturday.
Yeah, see, it's tough call. It's tough.
Yeah.
All right, so it's up to me now, huh? Say hopes. I think like you guys. I think I just hope it's crazy busy and it's like the standing room only days for like at least 2 of the days of the whole show.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. Let's see, fears. I'm gonna say that I get wicked sick like 3-4 days after this thing goes down.
100%.
And then dreams, I'm gonna say that party goes super good. We raise a bunch of money for St. Jude and have just wicked time with everybody. I think that would be good. That's the dream.
Yeah, I hope your guys' deal goes awesome. Unfortunately, I cannot be there, but let's talk about something that most folks probably can't relate to, which is seminar fatigue. By about Saturday afternoon, the back leg fatigue begins to set in. And most people probably don't know this to be true, who have not worked a seminar or a event.
Just stood on concrete for that long.
Yeah.
Yeah, Saturday about 5 is like
you're shot.
Yeah. That's why I say Sunday, like, it's not that we don't want to see everybody. It's just like, I would like if it's all sold out and they look at me and they're like, hey, you got to go home early. I'm like, what? No way, we did it?
No, but it is fabulous just walking out of there, being like, bye.
Oh, yeah. That is
I love sports shows. I love talking to people. I could fish for 48 hours straight and be less exhausted than I would after 12 hours of being at a sports show.
Isn't that unbelievable? I totally agree. It's
unreal.
And your body is just throttled at the end.
Yeah,
it's like a tunnel vision thing.
As if you had ran a marathon plus did an Ironman plus feel like someone just beat you.
Your knees are just
that's
blown.
How I feel when I leave a sports show like that. If you have to be there for multiple days, you're just like, I don't know why. Like, why does that beat my body up harder than anything else? Or my
just standing.
The concrete's a bit harder.
I don't know That's
gotta
well,
be
it is, but it's like it's not like we went anywhere. We just like hovered around.
That's what I'm saying.
They
put something in the concrete.
I've always thought it was a tunnel vision thing. Like you're always like, hello, sir, talking to this guy. And you talk to this person for an hour about fishing. And then you talk to this person for 10 minutes. And then like you finally like look away at the end and you're just like mentally just, you're done.
I will tell you though, there is
you don't even know what time it is.
There is no beverage that tastes better than that first beer mixed drink. When you get there after, you sit down at your bar stool at wherever you go, and they hand it to you, and that's like that sip is euphoric. I cannot explain it to people.
Push it right in.
I would recommend working a sports show at some time just so that you can experience that
for that moment.
If you could bottle that up.
Yeah.
If you could bottle up those 5 sips.
Yeah, bottle that up, man. I would be. I probably wouldn't be. I wouldn't be filming fishing. I'd be pretty wealthy, and potentially in prison.
All right, hit us with one more here. One more quick hitter. This is one segment. This will be a quick one, but we haven't done this one in a while. Let's just hit Tom with a what you been drinking.
Oh,
so
dude, I'm lame.
Go around the horn.
I'm lame. I'm 33 years old now. Basically what I've been drinking is mostly electrolytes these days, but the occasional makers on the rocks pretty much is, here and there. That's pretty much what we've been drinking lately.
I feel like when you double killed, when you double
Mm-hmm.
killed, you guys had some makers on the rocks. When you had $2 hanging that next day, like, yeah.
Dude. There's one thing, and you guys could probably relate to this, but when you're cleaning fish or processing deer, you'll just be sitting there doing it, and you're cleaning fish, and you're like, something's off right now, right? Like, is my knife not sharp? What's going on right now? If you don't have a beer or a maker's right there, like it's something's out of place, right?
Yeah. Silver skin doesn't come off with a knife; it comes off of cold beers.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
All right. Well, Tom, thank you so much. The boys and I, we wish you a safe and successful early ice season. We're pumped to see you at the St. Paul Ice Show, and we can't thank you enough for all your time. Like, we're excited. We're excited to follow along your journeys this year. And if any of you that are listening are not subscribed to Tom, please go subscribe to Tom Boley Fishing on YouTube. Download the Walleye Now app. A lot of amazing information. I don't care where you are in your walleye journey. If you're brand new, if you're medium, if you're a high-level angler, there's always something out there for you, especially on Tom's pages. So thank you. Thank you so much, Tom, seriously, for your time.
Well, appreciate it, boys. Good luck on the ice. We'll see you guys next week, and keep crushing the content.
We'll do what we can.
Thanks, man.
Have a good one.
We'll see you.
All right. That was Tom Boley. Wonderful chat. Tom's always great.
Tom's awesome.
It is crazy though, like just the amount of knowledge one dude can have about such a hyper focused thing. I feel like we talk about that with several other guests too, where they're just like they're in it on one particular topic, and like, God, he's in it, but he does it so well too. You know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing is, like
stuff.
His videos are so educational good, and he's so good at teaching people and talking, and the info's so good because like he said, like his videos are not edited special or anything at all. They're very raw videos. They're very raw, just going fishing. This is how it goes, whatever. And he gets all those views, grows and does it. I have mad respect for him for like that. That's like why I've wanted to do some more technical videos teaching people how to fish and do that. Too is because like how great his stuff Tom does, and people really like it because I love making the cinematic drone cool storytelling stuff, but also there's we can just teach people how to catch a crappie. But you combo it up. He does incredible work. He really does.
And he's a freaking fish junkie, dude. I think that's something I've always loved about Tom is like he said, dude, he's a total fish nerd. He's a fish junkie. And for a guy to chase walleyes 12 months out of the year. Like, don't get it twisted. He's as fed up about walleyes now as he's ever been. Otherwise, he wouldn't do it, dude. A human wouldn't do it. He loves walleyes, dude. And he's got a mean frog hook set. He can go bassing and can throttle down, straight braid, thwack him with the bait caster. I saw it for a walleye guy that mainly throws a spinning rod a lot. We went bass fishing this year, and he's still got a mean frog hook set. He can lean.
Dude, I also learned during that interview. I didn't realize he was also like almost the exact same age as us. He's 33.
Dang, yeah.
All of us guys are Nick Lindner, him, like we're all kind of in that same age group. It is kind of funny how that works out.
That is cool.
But,
dang.
Well, boys, do we got another segment or two here? Or are we ready to roll up and call it for the evening?
I mean, we got a weigh-in we could drop. What are you feeling?
I think we hit a quick weigh-in and then we peace.
Let's do it.
Weigh-in again?
I think this is an easy one anyway. So this one.
Let me hit the worst. Let me hit a quick pee.
Okay.
Let me hit a quick pee.
Jesus
quick intermission.
Oh, for the love of God! This is incredible.
All
right,
I got Chat GBT.
All right, good. Because I'm out. I'm spent out.
I know he goes to the bathroom so much.
It's incredible. He definitely should see a doctor about this.
All right, what is longer than what'd you say? Am I good?
I said you got it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. They said they're not sure what Sobe's time to proposal refers to, but it could be an inside joke. Okay. Nope. I need to just a second. Chat GBT didn't register.
It's very simple to use, really. You just type in the little question. Just hit him with it.
Mountains forming.
That's good. That's good.
The evolution of a new species is longer than Sobe's time to proposing to Steph.
Strong.
Continental drift.
Oh, we hit a home run on this one.
We're getting there. Stars forming.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. Slow human processes. So we're getting into a whole nother category here. Government bureaucracy.
Oh, wow.
Now we're getting political. Yeah, look at that. PTB.
Keep scrolling. PTB. Keep scrolling.
All right, what do I got? Patent approvals. They take 1 to 3 years on average, just so people know. So
he's taking a shit, no doubt.
Yeah, no, he's like, yeah, let's do a weigh-in. I'm gonna go poop. So yeah. What a guy.
Mm-hmm.
Waiting for a web page to load on bad Wi-Fi.
Oof. Story of my life, dude.
Maybe on Pink's Wi-Fi specifically.
Yeah, it's brutal over here.
All right, he's back.
All right. But anyways, I think that's good. All right, so this weigh-in topic. Now that we got so did you wash your hands?
50-50, I'm unsure.
That's a hard no. Okay. Weigh-in topic. The worst things about getting ready for ice fishing season.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. I got a handful of these.
Yeah. Okay. The worst things about getting ready for ice fishing.
Our other weigh-in hasn't posted yet, so I can't go on results of that one. That one posts tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who was first last time? Was it Sobe? No, it was you. And then I was on the wraparound.
Yeah. I was for yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So do we just want to go forward? So Sobe will be first, I'll be second,
sure,
you'll be third.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right. Keep notes, Pink. Sobe, you're up.
Yeah, I got it. Sobe, lead us off.
Worst
things.
Yeah.
About getting ready for ice fishing season.
Okay, just one.
Yep.
I would say
he's panicking. You didn't have time to think of it on the shitter.
I would go.
Pull it out.
Finding chargers, batteries, and charging everything. Like all the chargers. This charger goes to a 40V. This charger's a 24V. This charger's my Vexlar. This charger is for my Mega Live 2. This charger's for my camera. This charger's for this. Oh, this charges my one clam light. This charges this. This charges my Dakota Lithium. I'm like, oh, now I got to find the batteries.
All right.
So I'll do finding specific charger.
Yeah.
Chargers / charging everything.
I will take my next one. I feel very confident about this. Worst part about getting ready for the ice fishing season, building your fish house.
Oh my gosh, such a miss. I didn't say that. Great one. Nicely done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's
Put a star next to that. That's called. Yeah. Fish houses are amazing once they're built. Like, they're awesome. I love a freaking flip over. But putting them together is never as simple.
Shameless plug. I haven't built my house now in 2 or 3 years. I just pay Mike Rates to do it. So he is building for other people. So if you're listening to this and you're buying a house this year, hit up Mike Rates. He will build your house for you. Costs you like $150, $200, but it will save you a weekend of legitimate hatred of your life.
And he'll do it right and perfect.
And it'll be perfect.
The fabric is going to like lay down on the ice perfect. Like, I've built so many houses over the years where they're a little high and I'm
just
like
jacked.
Could use a little snow here to bank this in. It's just blowing up underneath. I'm like, son of I knew I put too much fabric in the back and zipped it in and now it's whatever.
Oh shit. Okay, so I got back to back here, huh? Okay, so I'm gonna say having to wash everything I just put away last season.
That's a good one.
Like pulling out you unzip that bag and you're like, that's minnows for sure. Yeah. So I'm going to say having to wash last year's gear. That's what I'm going to say. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Wash year's gear. Okay. Then I got the wrap around here. Wow. I did not write that well. Okay. Haven't read it last year's gear. Okay. Then I think I'm going to take, I think I'm going to take sorting out like your tackle bag, sorting out all your tackle.
That was a good one. That was going to be my next one. The stuff you just chucked into a pile.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Let me know when you're ready. I got my next one.
I'm ready.
Untangling the tip ups.
Nice.
Damn it.
It's just a rough one because you just chucked them away. And somehow that one hook got around all of them. And you don't know where it is currently hooked.
It's deep in the spool.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
And you didn't even use it last year. So you don't even know how it got like that.
Incredible.
Tip up.
Yep. Okay. All right, Sobe, you got 2 back-to-back here.
Oh, gosh. I feel like there's going to be so many we miss here.
Oh, yeah, this is bad.
Like,
I feel pretty good about mine.
Yeah, you got a good list going. I would say piss packing truck and sled. Really good one time for it to all be in shambles, basically your first trip. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you could pack your whole truck and everything good, or all your ice gear in a nice toboggan, and then you go fishing one time or hit one lake, and you're basically, it's like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But what is that?
Yeah, what do we put? How do you put that on a graphic?
Yeah, how would you summarize that in 3 or 4 words?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
What's your pick?
Organizing everything just to know it's about to get unorganized, or I don't know.
Yeah, that's fair. That's a good.
Organizing
everything, knowing it will be unorganized shortly.
Yeah, shortly. Yeah. Am I explaining that weird? Or you guys understand?
But is that different than sorting out your tackle bag?
Yeah, it is. Because you're like talking about sorting out your tackle bag, where I'm talking like packing the truck up. Where like,
okay, he's saying organizing your truck, knowing
organize your truck, knowing
truck / sleds. Truck / ice gear. Once to know it'll never fit back that same way.
Truck. I think I got something here. All right, go on. You got another one.
God dang. About getting ready for ice fishing. Oh. Ordering things I didn't actually need because I already had them. Or what's the way to say that?
Ordering things you already have?
Or just put impulse buying impulse buying ice gear.
Okay.
Impulse buying ice fishing gear. Because like at the end of every ice fishing season, I'm have everything I would ever like need to fish hard. Like, and I've been doing that. And then at the beginning of every year, I'm like, oh, well, I probably need this, or like, I don't know, do I need this, or like, I don't know if I need some more of those. And you're like, dude, you had everything at the end of last year. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
you were good at one point. You were pretty efficient. You were good. Now you like don't know how to do this anymore.
All right, Barty boy, what do you got?
Mine's a little niche, but I think for the people that know it, they'll know. Pink, you'll know. Rigging up the schoolie rod.
Oh.
Just all the way. Kind of sucks. Putting the reel on, you got to pull it apart, then you got to tape it on right, and it's not quite right. Then you got to take off the stupid split O-ring thingy, and then you finally get it on there. But you got to put electrical tape around the middle because they don't make the spool size right. And then you finally get that done. So you tie it on, and then you sit there for like 10 minutes while you crank an inch a turn.
Yep. All right. So I go back to back here to close mine off. All right. This one's very specific, but I think this is a value pick this deep in this whole thing. And I'm just going to say finding all of your gloves.
Yeah, that's very good. Very good pick.
You should just put down gloves and socks. You should do socks too with it.
I mean, I'll take it.
I think you should just do gloves. I think that fits.
But I don't think it's even necessary, dude, because that gloves is where it.
Gloves is where it's at, because like sock, you just grab a different sock and you put it on. Glove, you miss the left hand. Your
gloves for this operation.
Yeah.
Finding all your gloves. Yep. Okay, final pick here. I'm gonna say worst things about getting ready for ice fishing season. How about that? It's just getting too damn cold outside.
I'm cold. My blood isn't thick yet. That's basically
the worst part.
I feel that.
I'm gonna put actually getting cold. All right, Bart. Finish us out here. You then
So we had a couple cleaning things and organizing. So if you guys don't want me to take this, that's fine. But I'm being kind of specific on it. And it is cleaning the minnow bucket you forgot about.
Oh, yep. Okay. Dude, I have a angle cooler that I think
that
has
you know what's in it. You don't
4 to 6 sucker minnows that have been there for 2 full seasons.
And you still haven't opened
it. Because last year I was like,
it's just garbage.
But like, no. But you know how sometimes stuff gets rotted so much that it doesn't smell anymore? I feel like we might have hit the threshold for that.
I know. I wouldn't even test it, dude. I would just throw it away and just book it to get a new angle cooler.
No,
They're so awesome.
I'm opening her up.
Dude, that's That's gonna be my last.
I'll let you guys know. Maybe okay. So cleaning out old minnow bucket.
Cleaning the minnow bucket you forgot about.
Yes, the minnow bucket you forgot about. Okay.
That's damn. Bart's lineup is so top tier.
It's almost like I prepared.
Yep.
I forgot what the topic was at the beginning. I kind of threw you guys a curveball there, but then he said it, and I'm like, oh yeah, I thought about this for a while today. I'm good.
All right, so we finish this out.
Because I still have to get my stuff ready, so it ultimately comes down to the thing I really am not looking forward to right now.
You're like, wow, this really hit home.
It does. This is what my Wednesday will look like for those wondering.
Finding where I misplaced my ice cleats. Or
That's
finding
good.
the second ice cleat.
That is very good. Finding where I misplaced my ice cleats is good.
Do you want finding where you misplaced them or finding the other one, like you just said?
I mean,
better.
Well, I think finding the misplaced, but I think Sobe, the other hack of this is if you just buy a new pair of ice cleats every year, like I do, you never have to worry about this.
What kind of ice cleats do you guys buy?
I will tell you, this is year 4 of me probably buying myself a new set of ice cleats, and I don't have multiple pairs. I still haven't found the other ones. So
I always end up with one, dude. I guarantee I can go to the garage right now and find one. Just one.
That's fair. I feel bad. I feel like I only wear one when I do wear them, and then for sure the other one's gone. Yeah. The Catulas, though, I think those are the ones I got.
Those are the good ones. Right?
Ice spikes. I think so. Yeah. Okay, so finding your misplaced ice cleats. Is that it?
Yeah. Clam should make some ice cleats, dude. Like some really good ones.
Catulas are really nice.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like the ice cleat game is honestly pretty dialed. Like, there's a handful of them that do their job, and
they just need to work good and not fall off.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll read these through. Sobe with finding specific chargers and charging everything. Organizing truck or sled, knowing it will never stay that way. Impulse buying ice gear and finding misplaced ice cleats.
That's a semi-strong list. It's not bad.
I think it's a sneaky one. Yeah. I think they need to hit home though.
I think it turned out pretty well for how not prepared you were.
Agreed.
All right, Bart with building fish house, untangling tip ups, rigging up schoolie rod, and cleaning the minnow bucket you forgot about.
Very strong list.
I think that's strong as well. I think the schoolie one might be too niche to really, I don't know, but I think you're strong. You're strong. And then mine here with having to wash last year's gear, sorting out your tackle bag, finding all your gloves, and actually getting cold.
That's a very good one too. I think these turned out pretty good.
I think these are solid. I like that.
Well, hell yeah. That's another almost 3 hours episode of PTB for the people. We took a little hiatus October into November. We were busy. Life was going on, but we hope these last 3 episodes, we have really kind of brought it back, made it up to you, brought some absolute hammer guests in. Mm-hmm. This was episode 98. Boys, now we need to start very seriously figuring out what we're doing for one hundo, because we only got one, and then it's a hundo. And I've had, I will say, I've had a lot of people slide in my DMs. Sounds like live stream is like what people want, big time.
Who are these people?
Also, People, everybody says live stream, and everybody says there has to be a trivia with Hayes segment in the live stream.
Absolutely.
People love trivia with Hayes.
Absolutely, dude. Hayes,
Trivia
we're
with
bringing Hayes back.
Come back more.
Bring him back.
Bring him back.
I like it.
So we can.
We'll get it. We got some time. We're all going to be together next week. Like, it's going to be good, dude.
But we'll see you all.
PTB needs to show up to the ice show.
Yeah, we'll see you all at the ice show. PTB, we want to. How about you guys just buy out all these break your PB St. Jude fundraiser tickets?
Come on down.
Come on down.
Party. Come on.
You're all invited too. Yeah, 100%. So, yeah, been another great episode. That is 3 podcasts in less than a week. We did it.
Rapid fire.
We brought you the heat, and now, yeah. Thank you for listening all the way through. Subscribe, rate, comment, do the whole thing. We'll see you on the next one.
Happy Thanksgiving.